Seriously, I've been slacking, but I mean, it all in its divine timing, just as you
True.
say.
Very,
So,
very true.
so welcome to episode
Yeah.
117 of Peace Talk. I gotta. Oh, could you throw the deuces up again like you did before?
Oh, it was this side.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, I got a real Pisces priestess with me today. I got a very divine guest, not a special guest, a divine guest with me. So, be prepared. I mean, 30 minutes of interference. The peace talks with interference are usually some of the best peace talks. So, uh, shout out to Batel. Zudi said this couldn't be a more divine timing. There we go.
Okay. Thanks for that confirmation.
There we go. Lissy says she's the first person to give me a brief interpretation. She's gangster. Lissy Darko in the building. That's what's up. So I got my pink shirt on. And we have a very divine guest. Shout out to Diablo Cassar. Thank you for joining. Braylin Caldwell. What's poppin', homie?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on, Mike. You're so cool.
I'm so honored to have you on my show. I don't want to play politics of like, I have this much followers and you have this much followers. I'm actually honored to have you on this episode right now. I got Pisces in like my 10th, 11th house. So I look up to the Aqua Pisces vibes and like, you're one of the realest Pisces that I know. So,
oh, wow. Yeah. Thank you. That just means a lot. I didn't know you felt like that, man.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like there's a lot. I mean, there's shady Geminis in the streets. There's some shady Pisces in these streets. Like, give y'all sign a bad name. So, like, I love you, Braylin. Like, you remind me why Pisces is cool. You remind me why Pisces is one of the best signs ever. So, I'm just keeping it real. All right. How you feeling? You lit a throat chakra candle for us.
Yeah, I got that lit for us. I'll probably keep it lit even after, like when we're done with this, and just let it be until I feel the energy is here for us, I guess. I work a lot with candles, honestly.
What do you have on your neck?
Oh, this is actually, what is it? Lava stone. I put it on for Leo season. I was wearing kunzite. I think that's how you say it. It's a heart chakra stone, but I had to take that off and put the more fiery stone on, I guess.
Kunzite is what you
torch. I need to light mine too. Yeah, it's called kunzite. It's like a pink stone. It's very good for the heart chakra. It actually healed my heart.
I accidentally got an ember. Oh, it healed your heart, just keeping it in front of your heart the whole time. Or
yeah,
just like
it's weird.
Yeah,
I got out of a psychic event.
You got out of what?
I got it at a psychic event that I read some tarot at.
Kobe said it's expensive AF though.
Kunzite? Mine was I think it was $18, but it was made by a Sagittarius who does like homemade jewelry. I should send you her link because she's just magical, like Sag, hello. And she has her own boutique and everything. And I was so drawn to it at the time. I needed it. So she fished it out for me after she packed up and everything. She got it for me. I think I was just meant to have it or something. I don't know.
I believe that. That's what's up. That's really what's up. And I used to be very skeptical about crystals. Like it was back in the time in my path where I was skeptical about archangels, crystals. I was like, oh, like I'm sure there's a placebo to this. Like I'm sure it's real, but people be like looking too into it and whatever until. I always like to say this story. Like I had to, I had no choice but to use like energy healing to clear my stuffed nose.
I seen you do. You said that on a live, and that was interesting to me because I do believe in that. Well, I guess that doesn't have much to do with crystals, though. That's more so your own like you could be a healer type thing. Because what did you do? Were you just, did you use any crystal when you cleared your sinus, or was it just your hand?
You're 100% right. It had a lot to do with like healing, but I used a selenite wand over my nose,
Oh, gotcha.
and it like amplified it. And like I didn't like I it would have taken a whole day for me to get like any antibiotics, or like a whole like 3 days. So like I just kept it on my hand and like flowed the healing energy, and like within 15 minutes my nose is like clear. This is after like, sitting for 30 of minutes trying to just let it heal. But like it cleared and didn't like totally heal. It was cleared to the point where it's like, okay, I still need to actually apply more energy, which kind of helped me realize it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a one-stop quick fix. But like after I did that and healed it, like that day, that night, and the next day, I didn't need the antibiotics. Like ever since then, I haven't had a stuffy nose. Maybe like again once, like again like a year and a half later, and like for a short time, and it was like trippy. That really like broke me through and like believing.
So after that, you kind of knew crystals were something. Like, all right, hold on a second. It's just energy,
I,
dude.
yeah, really, really, no. But it's just sad because like you can see so much people dismiss this, people who don't have the right understanding or receptivity to it, and really take a lost art and magic like this and frame it in such a pseudoscientific way. So I'm honored to be talking to you because you represent Pisces, I believe, and it's like you're helping lead humanity into believing. Not even believing more, but like believing in the truth. Just believe.
That's really cool to hear a Mercury representative say that, because I know there's this whole thing where reality is reality and dreams are dreams, but then there's the whole, you can find reality in the fantasy realm, and vice versa. I don't want to like lose everybody here, but that's my life. Like, and I have a lot of earth energy too, so it is weird, but there's not much that I don't believe in. I think my whole thing about beliefs, and then there's the Jupiter in me as a Pisces, is that if there's someone somewhere believing in something, isn't it true somewhere to that person? So I think everything's real if there's someone out there believing in it. That's how I feel. That's just how I see it, I guess. It's kind of a weird thing, but it
Life,
gets weird in the subconscious.
it totally does. I mean, and that makes so much sense for you to say because like subconscious is Aquarius for Pisces, which would be a weird subconscious, right? But like
Yeah.
I totally agree. There is reality in like non-reality and fantasy sometimes. And if we want to, I think what you spoke on right now was a quantum mechanic principle, because if we take quantum superposition into account, before you observe phenomena, technically the superposition of it means that it's happened or not happened at the same time. And you can apply that to a many worlds theorem where every single possible scenario is happening at once. So like it's not off to rule it, as possible. Even some of the most, if we think of our infinite universe, because it's infinity, then like even the smallest probability of something will happen. So, it's not really off to say that the flying spaghetti monster might exist. You know?
I was so happy when I first heard you say that, because it just represents that anything can be real. Like, that's one of the things I like about you, Mike, is like, okay, I have to be a Pisces and say this. Like, a lot of the things you channel, and not just Pisces, because that energy is tapped into by anybody and everybody. It's an energy. So you say a lot of things, like you channel a lot of things that I see and live in my life and here in little old Michigan. Like things that you channel and that we don't even talk, but you'll say certain things that I've heard that same day. Like, it's real. You've just been you've been like a confirmation for me for at least like I think 2.5 years now. Like this all pretty much started for me, like watching you 2017 Pisces season when the South Node was in Pisces, right? Is that what it was? Because
That's
2017
so
Pisces
wild.
season, a
You
while
came
ago.
in with the South Node.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot happened to me during that time. I met a Virgo around that time who I don't want to open the twin flame thing.
Oh yeah, I met a
No,
Sagittarius around that time, opposite sign. So I feel you.
you know,
I feel you.
something happened. You know, I know you've touched on the whole infinity Virgo Pisces opposition. I'm definitely here to confirm and represent that because infinity is a huge part of my life. Huge. Just knowing that what comes goes, what that whole energy is, I guess maybe my two fish enjoy that yin and
Oh
yang
yeah,
aspect. And it's interesting that I would go there when we just mentioned twin flames because that's what I think of honestly. When I think of twin flames is the yin and yang. Yin energy, yang energy, light, dark. That's what I'm in. So if that's what a twin flame is or whatever, that's what I'm in. I'm in a dance between the light and dark.
hmm
And I have been since 2017. That's when it all happened. Like that's when I started to read tarot. And I do have to tell you, you're the reason why I read tarot.
No
You have a lot.
way. That is,
Yes, you are, dude.
I'm
I
so
started watching your channel then, and that's just like what triggered the whole thing. Like even the Pisces priestess, that name, you have a lot to do with
yeah.
that as well. So
That's
yeah,
what's
like this
up.
is huge to me to be on your like the peace talk. That it's been, I wouldn't say it's a goal, but when I would see that, I'm like, oh my God, one day I have to talk to Magic Mike. Like I have to,
That's
because
what's
there's just too many synchronicities, man. Like
up. I'm glad you mentioned about the confirmation because it's mutually felt because I feel like especially with Pisces, like with Pisces individuals, like it's hard for me to get an understanding of what I channel, and it's like y'all help me make sense of it, and like the confirmation as well, and then doubly too because y'all say a lot of things that I experience. And another thing that I really love is like the only other people to do this is maybe like two other Pisces women, and not even deliberately, but like they address me as Gemini. So it's almost as if like they are talking to the essence of it through me, and it doesn't help that I'm a first house Gemini, so it's like not wrong to call me Gemini. It's like I have the identity of it. So like
uh-huh.
it's really interesting. Every time like you say that, I feel like I'm hearing the essence within you address that, and it's really
It's a
awesome.
weird
It's really nice.
thing. I don't know why I want Gemini specifically to embrace, because I call a lot of people by their zodiac sign. I love astrology, and I might not remember your name, but I'll know that you're a Taurus, you know, or I'll remember your zodiac sign. But the Gemini thing, it's interesting. You're the only person who's really like brought that to attention, like, oh, you call me my sign. Like other people just kind of like think it's weird or whatever because it enforces astrology. Like, but yeah, it's different when I say Gemini to people because that sign is just, I'm really into the Gemini sign, honestly. It's the twin thing. I have two fish. I don't know how Libra feels, you know, because they're technically
My
the only
fish
other.
got a fish.
Right. And I've been with a few Geminis back when I was in high school. And that, when, I don't know if you've ever been with Pisces, but Jesus, like the fish, the like the dark and the light projection that happens, at least
Mm-hmm.
with me. And I have Lilith and Gemini, so I can't forget that. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
that brought out the dark or something. I don't know, but it was a complete mirror. I mean, I'm with a Virgo, and there's a lot of mirroring that goes on there, but I
Yeah.
don't know. It doesn't seem like it was the same when I was with a Gemini.
No,
That
Pisces
was years ago.
Gemini is. I mean, Pisces is up there. If I was to settle down, that would be like getting with my best friend because as a Taurus rising, but like, um,
Mm,
if it works, like if there's supporting aspects, I love the Pisces Gemini connection because it's really like much more direct mirroring. The only thing is like we clash so bad because like Gemini is like hella insensitive, and then Pisces has like a higher wisdom that Gemini is not always gonna agree with. And like other than that, it's so dope. Like it's
it
such a
is.
really connection.
You know, I think it's the fact that we're a bit Jupiter rules because you know how Jupiter opposes Mercury. So Virgo and Gemini deal with Jupiter opposing them on the zodiac wheel.
Yeah.
All the time, and people don't remember that about Pisces, that Virgo also deals with the whole, what it is, Mike, is it's Mercury and Jupiter, the lower mind and the higher mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, what that's about, because both are cherished, both are valuable, but I don't know, Jupiter just takes it out there. Being a Pisces, it's weird being ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, because Neptune is just, it's weird. Nothing has to make sense. You know that, Mike. Like, the more they don't make Neptune, that's when you're
like
closest to the.
I feel like only Pisces truly understands that, and it's like speaking the language. Like only they can understand the rationality and irrationality. And some people get this in an objective sense where they don't try and like manipulate others, but like because it's now I can see why it's very difficult to be Pisces, like a pure Pisces, because like that Neptunian energy is very easy to be deceptive, but that's one of those energies that's kind of allowed to be deceptive because it's like you can't really rule out what's good or bad. Like sometimes a Pisces energy can finesse you, and it's meant to happen that way. Like it's like the dark mercurial trickster, the dark Loki.
Yeah, exactly. I like Mercury though. I really do like Mercury. I've been connecting with a lot of Virgos in that way. I guess it's because they're the opposite. But it helps me as a Pisces to be around logic, because if you give too much into that energy, like kind of like I feel asleep right now, to be honest with you. Like I felt more, it's because Neptune went retrograde. I keep forgetting that. But when Neptune went retrograde, like the dream world becomes weirder for Pisces. So our wake state is super weird. So that's what's going on with Pisces energy right now. People with Pisces placements, it's nuts. And Mercury's retrograde too. So you've got reality that's fucked. You've got the dream world. Like one of the things I channeled it the other day for, like, I think it must have been the full moon in Capricorn, or maybe it was a personal reading, but I said that basically reality and fantasy have teamed up together to confuse us all. That's what I channeled about it.
Yeah. I mean, elements of my reality or elements of my inner world are coming out in reality, and it's hard for me to like differentiate what's real or not. And Neptune is really just whispering in my ear, like nothing matters. Like the like everything you've been taught is real is not real like you think it is. You need to let it go, because like weird stuff will happen where like I'm talking to someone about Alice in Wonderland, and then a video pops up and it's like Alice falling down in a rabbit hole, and it's like, this is not a coincidence. Like this is divine.
The synchronicities are haywire. Like these are, even the common folk are seeing synchronicities. Like
even the muggles.
I don't know if they know what it means, but nobody is normal right now.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
And I think that has something to do with the drama that's been sparking too, because we got some newbies, we got people that are just now awakening and stuff like that. So it gets crazy out here. It's crazy. Yeah. It's not crazy, but
no, but I get what you mean. Yeah, it's not, we're never going to see normal again. And I think that's the reason why people are flipping a shit, because things have switched up and they're like, when is it going to be normal again? When is it going to be normal again? It's never going to be normal again. It's
and whatever was normal, you know what I mean?
It never was normal. Exactly. So true. It never was normal. So it is what it is. I love how Cage said Gemini's bound to the material realm. I see it as like the Virgo fourth. And it's definitely, I feel like Gemini being like Virgo's, I feel like Gemini being Pisces fourth is what really allows us to have that special connection. But yeah, Ahmad Javon said her vibe reminds me of OJC astrology. What's her sun and moon?
I love her. She has a Cap rising just like me, guys. We're a lot alike.
I didn't realize like even your moons are in Earth. So like that's
oh gosh, she has a Virgo moon. So that's interesting. I have a Taurus. My moon is 0 degree Taurus.
It's 0 degree?
0 degree Taurus. So I'm like kind of an Aries moon. I do believe in cusps, guys. Okay. I write about all the cusps. I channel. I feel each cusp. All right. We just got over one.
Believing in cusps. Yes. I heard Janae Aiko believe in it too in her page.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I wanted to talk shit, but nah, I wasn't ready. But
I don't know. It's because maybe it's the Pisces in me where it's the mixture. I don't know. I don't see how people don't believe in cusps because like didn't you guys just feel the fact that we just got out of Cancer and we just moved into Leo? Like that's the weirdest cusp of all because that's moon to sun. You know, you're going and it's literally oscillation. So that means to swing back and forth.
I believe in like 0 degree cusps and like maybe
I have to believe in those.
And maybe, well, yeah, you have to believe that. Yeah. I feel like maybe it's more evident in mutable signs because mutable signs are like, they're not fixed. So it's like they can blend in with other signs. And some people do say in constellations, like the signs are kind of bigger. Not all the signs are 30 degrees, but the reason why cusps don't really exist, well, cusp exists, but you have to bring into account like the 360 degree angle. So it's kind of weird. I can't argue against cusps because like 30 degrees is 0 degrees. So I mean, if you're 0 degrees, I feel like that's the only one that can say like 1 degree is 29 degrees. You're not a cusp. I'm sorry. Like, if you're 0 degree, you can say you're a cusp, but it is what it is. So you're Capricorn rising. What degree is your Cap rising?
Okay, so I have still the old traditional old cafe astrology that I started with. That's what I started with, the grid form of the chart. One website says 19 degrees, but I've also got 22 degrees. And it's a mystery because I put in the same birth time and it's one calculates it at 22 and one calculates it at 19. And I'd love to know the real one because these things matter. But it's somewhere between 19 and 22 degrees Capricorn. My sun is at 14 degrees Pisces, and Saturn is also at 14 degrees Pisces. So I'm a true sun conjunct Saturn.
Your sun Saturn?
Sun Saturn, man. I'm very Saturn ruled.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, because Saturn rules your chart. Whoa, you didn't tell me you were sun Saturn. Hold on. We would have okay.
Let me sit up a bit straighter now that I've said that.
This changes everything. How you gonna be sun Saturn with the Cap rising, just chilling? You're just gonna mention that casually. And OJC has to say like, no. Okay, something's going on here. So like, that is such a huge deal. It's not even funny. Now Lissy was right because sun Saturn is gangster. Like every sun Saturn is a gangster. Like, period. People have different modes of gangster, but like, you gotta respect sun Saturn, and that's so amazing. It's the world card. So
I love the world card. I'm gonna say though, sun Saturn, like one thing that I've always kind of felt, and I channel everything that I know. It's just more so like what I intuitively feel about certain aspects. For me, just me personally, Saturn apparently thought that I was responsible enough to have my own boundaries. Like Saturn has given me my own responsibility as opposed to what he usually does, which is assist us with responsibility. I just don't think it's a very Saturnian thing to hold someone responsible for their own karma. And that's like what my sun in Saturn, it makes me hella responsible for my own happiness. I'm responsible for everything that I see, my own awareness. Like for some reason I needed to incarnate as someone who could prove that. I almost feel like it's like a trial almost. Like, can this sun and Saturn like cause their own awareness almost? It's a huge responsibility. It's huge.
Well, you manifest, especially with Pisces energy from the heart. It's a supernatural power. I mean, 14 degrees. Jesus Christ.
It's actually square. Pretty sure it's exactly square my Jupiter and Sag, 14 degrees Sagittarius.
What? Why are you doing this, Braylin? Like, you're just casually just revealing these ridiculously Oh yeah, by the way, it squares Jupiter and Sag too. Like it
My
charts
chart
just
is nuts. I actually had
so
to
that's in your 12th house.
yeah, my 12th house is Sagittarius and my 11th house is Sag too.
Wow,
Yep.
that's amazing.
My chart
Sad. So
is
you
crazy.
return. Wait till you have your Saturn return. Y'all are, oh my gosh, like yeah, I just love how you just conveniently wait until now to mention that. I would have prepared more like no, but
Oh
regardless.
God. See, that's another thing is I felt like hella nervous about this too. And that all the documents I had to go through, like I just felt like I was getting ready for something serious, you know. But yeah, dude, I don't know. So like what would you say some of the most powerful aspects in your chart are? Like cuz for me it's Sun and Saturn for sure is one of the first things I mention and things like that. So I don't know, what sticks out to you most in your chart?
Well, I'm going through my Saturn return, so it's all about my moon Saturn. 23 cap, 24 Saturn. 23 moon in cap, 24 Saturn cap. So and then I have that with
So your
Neptune
moon
here
conjunct Saturn.
and Neptune and Uranus and in the 8th, 9th house. But like the moon is directly next to Saturn. So like I'm Saturnian. Like AF.
Yeah.
I
Like
just
I
don't
feel like
know.
moon conjunct Saturn is like as a sun Saturn, that's another opposite you and I have. Like when it comes to karma, you and I could really expose some things because I mean we basically have the light and dark of karma. Like I'm aware of what's going on in the light of it, you're aware of what goes on in the subconscious karmic realms. Like that's do you ever feel subconsciously restricted? Because to me when I feel with Saturn, you do.
I feel
You
like I have mental limits and blocks because I don't show the Saturnian part of me. I show the Gemini, the childish kid, but it's like you have no idea. Like I'm calmly, cleanly analyzing and like exposing. Like I use the Gemini because people react to the Gemini differently than they'll react to the Cap, and then I analyze with the Cap, and it reveals people's characters. Like how would you treat someone that you don't owe or you don't need something from, and then I just kind of so but it does feel like a mental block. I love how you said that. It's very subconscious. I feel like the Saturn return is releasing them,
oh
but
yeah.
like it definitely imposes restrict, and then my mom has reinforced a lot of those restrictions, so I'm like learning to break out of the way she raised me, and a lot of it is great wisdom. Some of it is stuff that um I need to break out of and not let inhibit myself. But I love our progress because I feel like we're barely tapping into the power of Saturn. Like we're still very young with it, and it's like it's ridiculous.
Saturn was
It's
always my favorite planet as a kid too. So when I stepped into astrology and I realized how like that there's a reason for that. Like I love Neptune. Neptune is, a Pisces thing, but honestly Saturn is my favorite planet honestly. But I do have I guess a first house stellium with Uranus there too. Like Uranus is in my first house, so I'm fucking weird as shit. And my personality is unpredictable and bizarre. So, ugh, and I don't know. Like some of my planets are actually in Aquarius, but they fall in my first house. But still, Saturn takes the cake. Maybe
yeah.
because I think it's this because my sun is conjunct it or something.
I mean, you're seriously powerful. So like now I'm realize why I was so honored to have you on the channel. I feel like from Saturn to Saturn, it's that mutual receptivity because like you're still haven't even come into your Saturn return. You're going through your Jupiter return right now, and you represent some a very important aspect that I'll make a special video about. You are officially an event horizon because Uranus is on your moon, Neptune is on your sun, and then you have Pluto and Saturn transiting your first. So like anyone who's around you, you're literally like a conduit of all these outer planets, and like people are coming to you to even me talking to you right now, like you're stimulating this energy with us, like it's going through you. So your channelings are more legit than most people just because you're flowing directly from the source. I'm so interested. I really wanted to know, how have you been feeling since 2008? Because that Capricorn transit must be intense. And then how do you feel with this like Uranus transit that's just gone over your moon?
You know, Candace, the Scorpio that you work with.
Candace,
Yes.
I love you, Candace.
Shout out to her Scorpionic self. Oh, Scorpio.
Yeah.
She said a few words to me a while back when Uranus first transited from Aries to Taurus. Because I guess she has an Aries moon, must be.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to prepare me. She said, all I'm going to say is get ready for the Uranus transit over my moon. And well, my moon's 0. I think Uranus is around like maybe 2 degrees right now, right? 3 in Taurus, or is it farther than that?
It's 6 right now.
6 degrees. Okay, so it's still
Uranus is in a retrograde the same day Jupiter goes direct and Mercury moves into Leo.
Oh, wow.
12th. Yeah. The same day.
What did you say happened then?
So on the 12th, Mercury is going to move into Leo. Jupiter is going to go direct, and then Uranus is going to retrograde all at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Uranus and Taurus is weird anyway. I've been noticing that with Tauruses. They're actually saying the word weird more often. I've seen that. I'm like, so Taurus just thinks everything's weird right now because they are weird right now.
Yeah.
And that's just that's a weird transit anyways, because Taurus to me rules like, because what did someone just say? They said that Gemini is bound to the materialistic realm. Is that what someone said?
Yeah.
That's because Taurus is your 12th house.
Facts. Yeah, that's more Taurus 12 than Virgo.
So subconsciously, there's Earth, and that's true for you double time because your moon's Cap. So you're subconsciously there's a lot of reality for you. I guess there's a lot of physicality, which is, if you think about that, the subconscious becoming real. That's what you meant, I think, Mike, when you said that things in your dream realm are starting to be validated and you're in front of you.
Yeah.
Like your dreams are real right now. I think that's true for all of us.
Oh yeah. It's
but
really,
that is a weird thing. That is happening.
And then you also have Neptune right around your sun. Like you're prime for these energies right now. It's ridiculous. I think like 1922.
OJC, she channeled something. She channeled something for me a while ago, and she just basically said that nothing. Didn't you just say that, Mike? Didn't you say that a while ago? You said nothing is real or something like that. That's what she told me, and that's a good way to put it. I mean, it's like everything. It depends on what you think is real. I'm a Pisces, so it's not as uncomfortable for me. I'm not uncomfortable with letting go of reality because I never had a hold of it. Like that's Virgo's job, like
right.
They analyze enough. They analyze it enough.
Yeah. No,
they're in reality getting things. They're good on that. Virgo's got that realm figured out. And that's why I don't want to blame Virgo. And I've said this to my partner, like it's Virgo. Virgo is so realistic that Pisces has to be like not like we have to be a good match for that. We have to mirror that in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah. Cage McCann said, I think that it's your Mars and Aries that is your biggest double-edged sword. I wonder what is your aspect for your moon to Aries Mars. And that's 100% true. The number one thing that I've let get me in trouble is the Mars and Aries. Although people are always like, well, it's the moon and Cap that let it happen. But my Mars and Aries is so impulsive. It makes a direct square to Uranus and Jupiter. So I sometimes can do too much and it can go too far and I can just be too impulsive. But I'm very, where is your Mars in Aquarius or is that just Venus?
Quite the opposite.
Leo.
My Mars is in Leo. Yeah. So I went through a Mars return on the 26th.
So you're a freedom fighter. I love Mars and Leo. The 7 of Wands card, it's so empowering. It's victory.
And I didn't know the 7 of Wands represented Mars and Leo until I think you said it. I think you're the one who let me know that. I seen it in one of your videos. And I get that card a lot. And I didn't know why. No wonder I stand up so quick. I'm 0 to 100. I know I'm one thing right now, guys. I seen what I am.
Yeah.
But let me flip the script. I have there's other things about me. Plus I'm a Pisces. I'm dual. Like 1 minute I'm this way, the next minute it's this, Seriously. I know you get that. And I like being dual.
I love being dual. It's so amazing. The only thing I don't like being dual is having to explain it to people who don't get it. Because like one thing I love about being mutable is like we can really be aware of perception, and like we can be aware of who's too fixed and see things one way versus just being able to detach enough to just be something else just because you can, and see how it feels. That's why I love how Kanye said, you know, I thought about killing you today. Just saying it out loud, see how it feels. Nothing's off the table. You know what I mean? Like just because he's speaking about it doesn't mean he's gonna really do it, but it's just allowing yourself to let ideas be ideas and just like, you know, experience things. And I'll always respect that about mutable sign energy.
Being mutable and dual, which is only something Gemini and Pisces can say, is crazy. It's very
It
intense.
is very
The thing I don't like about being dual is the constant state of projection. The constant state of projection. Like I don't even know if we can even explain that, Mike. Like, I don't know if it can be explained because everyone can be projected on, but are you always projected on? Like, the fact that I represent two different things existing at once, the unity or the oneness that you feel, I guess, is threatened by the way I make you both.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only way I can explain it, is that like we make other people feel dual, but they only feel that way because we're around. We feel that way if we're alone. Like we'll never be alone, you know?
Yeah. I think it threatens some people's security, especially when you're not being the version of you that they want you to be. It's very hard. It's very easy to manipulate Pisces because like people really just are drawn to try and put you in a box. And I think people try in Gemini too, but we rebel. Oh, right. So, oh yeah, but it's very interesting because like, you know, being dual once again, especially now that Neptune is in your sign, you're just given that opportunity to explore the truest way. What a privilege and a blessing to be a Pisces when Neptune is in that sign, because you know they're Pisces who never experienced that because they had it square opposite. So I mean, that's just the jackpot. I think the coolest thing we'll get is Gemini's Uranus. I can't wait for that. But like, that is so amazing. Like,
I'm interested in the North Node moving into Gemini.
Oh, that's gonna be so brilliant. It's gonna be so amazing. I can't.
It's gonna be different than like I don't know why, but maybe it's because I'm mutable. Like I'm not afraid. The Capricorn in me is like, don't say afraid. Like I'm just saying, like the Capricorn Cancer eclipses that we just got through, like this whole North Node, South Node Capricorn Cancer business. That it's just gonna be different with Sag being the South Node and Gemini being the North. And I can't wait because I just want people to start saying what they mean. I want people to start speaking about their destiny. I think that's what North Node and Gemini will be about. Like, I just do. I think it'll have a lot to do with communication.
It's going to be the most controversial nodal transit that we've had because if you've noticed for the past 10 years, ever since the North Node was in Sag, the rhetoric that people behind politics and behind religion and philosophy has slowly been building. Like people have been slowly pitting themselves against each other. Enmity has risen and then it's squashed and then risen. And then North Node Gemini is going to be all out battle. And people are just going to let all that pent up energy express itself. And, you know, it's going to bring a lot of changes because it's going to be happening within all this energy shifting out of Cap. So it's going to be great for us mutable signs because I feel like we're really going to be able to like, you know, release mad blockages and move forward. But North Node in Gemini, this transit is the reason why Donald Trump won office, because he's going to have the re-election while he goes through his nodal return. So the reason why he won the first election is because he was destined to win the second election. Crazy.
And was he born during an eclipse, Donald Trump?
He not only was born during an eclipse, but Uranus was in his sign, and he's going to be alive.
Barack Obama. If I remember you saying that, Mike, you made the connection of the Uranian connection between Barack Obama and Donald Trump. I've heard you channel that.
They both have Uranus on their sun, and they're both presidents. And when I do the Barack episode, you know, people kind of gave Barack Antichrist parallels, because they broke down his name, Barak, meaning like thunder coming down from above, which
Uranus.
was right, thunder, but they broke down Barak as like the thunder coming down from the sky, which is supposed to represent the fall of Lucifer, right? If we break down his name, let me see, Barak meaning, um, yeah, lightning. In
Oh
Arabic,
wow.
the Arabic, okay, so Barak are Swahili, one from Arabic root meaning blessing. Obama, who was named after his Kenyan father, has made a symbol of the proudly diverse America. Note that Barack is sometimes confused with the Hebrew Barak, lightning. So Barack Obama's name is not connotated with the lightning one, but it's interesting the correlation between, Barack with the Hebrew interpretation lightning and Barack Obama having Uranus on his sun and the Lucifer asteroid on his sun too.
Oh wow, I didn't know there
Which
was a Lucifer asteroid.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, is that why we have Lilith? Because that's an asteroid, some people say.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
No, definitely. I love how you said some people say, because like there's an asteroid, then there's a mean point that's not even like there's the point of Lilith that's just like the shadow of the moon. There's the actual asteroid. There's like the apogee. So it really depends honestly on which one. But very fascinating stuff. Very fascinating stuff. I'm really excited to see. I know like I'm not into politics, but I have to be into politics now as an astrologer because the
Mm.
stars are literally pointing to Trump. Like what he's going to do the second term is going to shape the whole nature of the world. And he's getting ready to build borders. He's getting ready to use our defense budget to build the wall. So he's going to shake up. He's going to shake up the country. He's going to shake up the world. So many more people because of him are wanting to vote just to get him out of office or keep him in office. So it's Gemini's just changed stuff. Obama, Gemini
That
moon.
is true.
Trump,
That
Gemini
is very
sun.
true.
Like it's impossible. Like we never leave the election the way we came to it. Like it's just forever changing.
Even the vice president's a Gemini.
Mike Pence is a Gemini too? No way.
You might. Will you fact check that for me?
Yeah.
I know it intuitively. But I'm pretty sure I've looked that up. But
I
I'm pretty
wouldn't.
sure he's a Gemini. I think they're close.
Mike Pence is a Gemini. Oh my God. He's a Gemini sun and moon. Are you
Oh, I didn't know
serious?
that. Yes.
What are the
So this North
odds?
Node transit.
Unless he's a Cancer moon. He might be because it looks his moon is 29 degrees. So what are the odds that our president is full moon, sun in Gemini, Sag moon, and then the vice president is sun moon Gemini? Like you can't make that stuff up. You can't
My
like
niece is a Sag Gemini moon. Or she's a Sagittarius sun, Gemini moon. She was born on a full moon.
the
So I know
enlightened
that energy.
the enlightened creator. Yes. Very true. Lisa
Wow.
Sarah said Trump is involved in things no one knows about. That's Mars in the 12th. But it's definitely going to be interested to see how things develop and shift. I feel like now that Neptune is at the latter half of Pisces and Jupiter is coming out, y'all 10th house, like you're really ready to push into the upper limits of your abilities. I didn't realize, I'm just channeling this right now, but it's like because of the way we treat y'all and because of the way we function, Pisces isn't powerless, but it's like they can only reflect based on where humanity is at. And because we have been backwards in like understanding these abstract concepts, it's limited your power. Like you've only been able to go so far because, as they say, Pisces understands God, but no one understands Pisces. It's like the gift and the curse. So it's definitely something that will enrich both Aquarius and the Pisces vibe. But it's interesting because when we talk about Braylin, when we talk about you as Braylin, clearly you're more than Pisces. You got the Cap rising, the Taurus moon, and could you go more at length about like what it's like to be a Capricorn rising? One of the most revolutionary things to be now is a Cap rising because
Really?
you're really having to redefine with Pluto and Saturn going through your first, like what the personality of integrity is like. And, firsthand sensing negativity from people and still having to do the right thing. It's also bestowing supernatural power, but like seriously, on top of having a Saturn sun, like how have you been coping with it? How have you been dealing with it?
Well, I will say the first thing that comes to mind is the Pluto in Capricorn. Death has been a thing. I'm pretty spiritual. I see death more as transformation and the entrance into the spiritual realm. We definitely can't go there in physical form, similar to we can't go to space because, we like burst or whatever, freeze, so it's kind of like that. So Pluto jumps out at me the most because the whole death thing, like I'll just randomly be like, my dog's gonna die someday. So it's been weird thoughts like that. It's been fear-based. It's been very dark. And, Pisces was the South Node. That was my first, like, entrance into these nodes is when I was, like, I had no choice but to learn about the nodes, to learn about twin flames, to learn about tarot, to learn about astrology. I mean, 2017 is when it all came in. But now we're talking about the differences between the sun and the first house. They're both who you are. But the first house is how you're seen. It's how you show up. The way I describe it in charts that I read is it's if zodiac signs had a costume, and we could even get creative and start talking about what an Aries costume would look like. So to me, I'm always wearing a suit and I always look serious, which I think is positive and negative. Like I'm very intimidating to people, which as a very humble Taurus moon in a oblivious Pisces, I'm like, who, me? Like what about me is so intimidating? But yeah, I do have the intimidating factor as a cat rising, which I think I needed to navigate me through this world. I needed some kind of shield of respect. But, I'm not a Capricorn, but I've really joined with that energy because every month I go through and I talk to each sign. I read tarot for all the zodiac signs. And I do notice the Cap readings. They're really, and I do resonate with them too. Sometimes more than my Pisces sun, because Pisces readings are always about love anyways, and nobody can deny it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It just is, and my Capricorn doesn't always give a shit about that, like I care more about my legacy and what the next 10 years are going to look like for me and what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing right now. Like, where does my integrity lie? And more so, how are others seeing that in me? That's what it's like to be a Capricorn rising. It's like, your aura has to be responsible. So, if I go out with friends, which is very seldom, I'm that responsible one because I'm always thinking about karma. I'm always thinking about, what would Cap do? We'll just call it that. What would Cap do? What would Capricorn do?
And I mean, they say Jesus is Capricorn, so that's even more.
Oh, I stand by it. Well, I don't know. I feel
more
Pisces is the Hanged Man in tarot.
Yeah.
I think, and then the Devil card is. I love. So to me, Gemini is Adam and Eve, but I'm also going to ask you this: what do you think about Adam and Eve or Gemini, the twins, actually being more Cain and Abel? Because I've had that vibe because I've been watching a lot of things that it like shows. Lucifer, I watch on Netflix. And there's actually a lot of truth to that series there. It really opens your mind up to Lucifer. Yeah. It's a great show, guys. If anybody watches it, I love it. And it really
how they haven't Michael in yet.
They mention him. They mention Archangel Michael, and it's like joked about a little bit. Like one of the characters, he's an angel. His name's Amenadiel. And he has actually a baby in the show. And the lady's like, how about we name him Michael? He's like, no, God, no. Anything with that. She's like, how about Michael? He's like, so I don't know where they're going to go with that.
Amenadiel is still hating after all these years. After all these years, bro, really? No, it's Supernatural addresses it, but I know Lucifer might bring it in as like a subplot later. Like
they should. Come on, they have to.
Some people acknowledge Michael and Lucifer as twin brothers, so that could be like an original twin flame pair. But I'm glad that is one of the most insightful things I've been asked. You can say the Gemini archetype could be Cain and Abel. And it doesn't.
More Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve comes first to my mind,
Adam and
especially because I've like looked at the zodiac wheel and I've noticed things like that. Like, okay, Capricorn, the 8th house of them is Gemini, right?
No, the eighth house of Gemini is Capricorn.
Yeah, the 8th house. So if you think of Gemini on the zodiac wheel being Adam and Eve, why would their 8th house be Capricorn, who is the devil in tarot card, when that has to do with secrets and transformation and intimacy, you know? And then
you have the lovers and the devil card, which look like octaves.
Love it. I pull those two together sometimes, and I'm like, oh, great. Now I got to talk about karmic relationships. And well, when I see those cards together, I always talk about attachment versus connection, because that's all that is in light and dark, because those cards are hella similar.
Impossible nailed it. Any pair archetype is Gemini, because I was going to say Gemini isn't really limited to twins. It could also be siblings, because it's the 3rd house,
God.
right?
Yeah, even more so siblings, honestly.
Yeah,
true. Siblings. That's what I think.
And that's amazing. And someone asked, why is Capricorn the devil? Because Capricorn represents the materialism of the and it doesn't always have to be temptation as much as it's going to represent like the full manifestation of that lower
and
base.
Capricorn is the devil card, guys. I feel for that. I feel like, come on, poor Cap. Like, Saturn, it's the scapegoat. Capricorn is the devil card because Capricorn, aka responsibility, aka integrity, is blamed for everything. It's blamed. Like, Capricorns feel responsible for that, similar to the archetype of Lucifer. That's why I think that it's hella symbolic.
That's why I love the show and the Vertigo comics. If the show is based off of the Vertigo line of comic books, and it's like, well, it's funny because in the Vertigo line of comic books, Michael is in that line, and in that line, it's like Michael had the demiurge, so like Michael can create something out of nothing, but he needs Lucifer to shape the energy. And Lucifer can turn anything from nothing. Lucifer can manipulate anything to become anything, but he can't create something out of nothing. He needs Michael for that. So it's like in that show, he ended up killing Michael, not out of spite, but like to create his own universe. And it ended up being like a place for him to die. It's a crazy dynamic. I think you would really love the story, but like
you sent me a 5-minute sum up of it. And I'm like, I didn't even know it was based on a comic. And that was lit. I'm like, whoa, it actually triggered a lot for me. I can't remember because I need to rewatch it. But when I watched that 5-minute run through of the whole comic, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What? Because I get going on those analogies. Like, I'm not very biblical, but I do feel like there's extreme metaphors there with all that. Lucifer.
Yeah. And I love how like we naturally tap into those ancient archetypes intuitively without even having to prompt each other. That's one thing I value about my relationship with you, because like you really do help confirm some things for me too without even have to ask. I remember I had a reading a long time ago, like this like training program, and it's definitely like the higher self that I channeled was called Vertigo, and it wasn't until years later that I realized Vertigo is the comic writer chain of that. But one thing I like about the Lucifer narrative is that Lucifer feels disrespected, that humanity blames their problems on him. And then a Harvard or an Ivy League, if it's not Harvard, it was an Ivy League professor who did an honest critique on the devil. Please hit that like button if you haven't, and like research the devil based on biblical narratives and pointed out how Christians skew the image of the devil. Like the version that Christians believe in the devil is not biblically sound. It's crazy. Like if you were to read the Bible, any mention of the devil is really more so as like an overzealous prosecutor. So it's not like some evil person as much as like, yo, these humans ain't shit, God. Like, what's up? I mean, why is he traveling back to heaven all the time, right? Like, oh, these humans ain't shit. Like, and that there might be a distinction from Lucifer to Satan too. But like, despite like the fall and certain ways the narrative is twisted to make the devil look evil, he's really just like, no one really likes the devil. They kind of want the adversary to be replaced with someone who's more kind. But like, it's not like he's a bad person as much as like a prosecutor who does his job a little bit too strictly. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Capricorn is Saturnian ruled.
right? Like, yeah, this the stickler, like the taskmaster. It's interesting too because Saturn has more implication to the Grim Reaper than Pluto does. Pluto is actually like the Lord. Scorpio is like the Lord of Wealth because it's like underground. You have diamonds underground. But I've realized Pluto is literally kind of like just some fly dude who's like, yo, I'm watching over the underworld. And he's very much so mistaken for like death because he's a Lord of Death. But death is more accurately Saturn because Saturn has the sun. Saturn, exactly. Saturn's gonna reap you, right? Yeah. Agriculture, and the Hades is really just more the transformation. So it's.
And I was just thinking that decay. I was thinking Pluto's more decay based.
Yeah,
like the erosion of something, and Saturn's more like, let's take this whole motherfucker down. Like, let's bulldoze this mug, like, because karma came back around. That's so true, Mike. I've never even thought about that, but Saturn is it's a better representation of the Grim Reaper because it is like karma is so reaping, isn't it? It reaps you. It creeps you. It's there. It's always there.
And that tripped me out when understanding my chart too, because it helped me understand how in some aspects I'm an angel of death, because and it's something that was hard for me to accept because I thought it was, supposed to be light life. And now knowing that I'm a dual sign, right? Especially you with Saturn on your sun, the cosmic taskmaster, father time. I've definitely had time manipulation experiences that blow my mind to this day, especially with Capricorn ruled people. So it's really, and I love how now we're starting to like uncover these secrets so much more. But when your time is up, right? And yeah. So it's very amazing to see you embrace and own, yourself as Pisces priestess. I feel like you represent the mantle so very well. Before I go more into that, did you happen to be a part of the ritual we did yesterday at all?
I was not. Yesterday was a weird day for me, but I did want to see that. Why do you ask?
Well, check that out if you want to. It's not.
I will. I'll be on your videos, man. I appreciate your lives.
So I'm kind of tripping because I gave people like a week to after we did the ritual to see confirmation of a sign, and it was tied into a symbol that once you are shown, and you don't look for it, but once you're shown, it will be a sign that the wish that was made has come true and that the clapback we did was effective. So as soon as like a couple hours after the live, I already got my sign. But now during this live, I see the symbol right behind you.
Is it an infinity symbol?
Yes, it's the infinity symbol. Right here. And like, what's crazy is when I came to that realization right now, I looked at how much time has passed. I think I came to this realization like 5:17, and it was 44 minutes that we've been streaming and 44 likes. And then I saw the infinity symbol, and then I was like, oh, this is the sign. So, and Pisces sun, second deck in Pisces, that represents the 9 of Cups, the wish come true. So I thought that was interesting. I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah, it is, because I had a weird vibe about that. Like, I haven't always been sitting like that. So I've been like showing it. I didn't know that. It was totally subconscious, but wow. Yeah.
And it's also reflecting in your mirror right there too.
Really? Oh my God.
It was like a double.
Yeah, that's a synchronicity, dude. That's weird. There's been other ones too. Not all of them are meant to be spoke on because some of them have just been happening so rapid during this conversation, and I haven't pointed them all out. But I mentally know them. Like wow, and for me, it's more so feelings that I have prior before something happens in reality. Like that's what it's like being a Pisces, and we're not psychic. Like I don't want people to freak out because yes, Pisces is so psychic, but what it really is that we just experience things in the subconscious realm before reality does. So does that really make us psychic, or were we just somewhere a little bit before everybody else?
Let me answer your question. Cancer is psychic. Pisces, you're magic. And shout out to Everese because he nailed it. What's the 12th house of Pisces? Aquarius. So that's why y'all know things without knowing things. Because and that's supernatural magic. Like, and that's why people.
It has a lot to do with Scorpio being our 9th. Because Pisces are things about the afterlife. We literally have knowledge about death. We literally have like that gets naturally expanded to us emotionally because Scorpio being our 9th.
You see the psychology in experiences, and it makes you understand emotion. I've really come to learn that Pisces is the most controversial zodiac sign right now because in order to truly understand Pisces, you have to accept magic. You have to accept that there's magic out in the world that trumps human logic and that can make what doesn't make sense just because. And people don't accept that. So people don't really see y'all. And they just kind of see.
It's a natural blocker for us. It really is. I get blocked by people a lot, like based on their own like I guess is receptivity the right word? Like if they're not receptive to it or if they're not open to what I can't help being, you know, most of the time you have to connect with Pisces energy while you're unconscious or while you're asleep. It's very weird that there are people walking around that represent what Pisces is because it's supposed to be in the dream realm. So it'd be like having, you know, when you hear about people doing like LSD or I don't know. I'm watching this show right now where they actually go into induced sleep cycles. It's called Another Life. It just got added to Netflix. It's pretty good. But it's like the future and they go to sleep there. So it's that realm that it's reminding me of because they do have really enlightening dreams in that show. So it'd be like having that knowledge. Like you guys can think of like a dream that, and I don't know if you guys think that, but I get knowledge from my dreams a lot. And so sometimes that happens in the waking state and it's, even I, as a Pisces, shun it a bit because it's like, whoa, like no one's going to believe that's there. No one's going to believe that this is here because it's not allowed to be, I guess. Or I guess it's more so about what would happen if it was there for everyone at the same time. That would
trust.
What?
I feel like it has a lot to do with trust because the dark side of Pisces is, you know, people can just make stuff up and be like, it was my intuition. Versus having to have.
I feel that in people a lot, like I guess fake psychics or people who are like, oh, you know, I can feel that a lot, that dark side of Pisces because I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't like that concept, the good and the bad, because it's neither and it's both. But that is so true, Mike, because I know Pisces moons and they can take what Pisces represents and just pretty much bend it to their will. And
I've learned that the hard way this weekend. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I can imagine.
With more than one Pisces moon, like it's crazy. And I don't want to diss Pisces moons because thankfully I know a couple Pisces moons that are like amazing people and I'm glad that they're giving it a good name. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Like they really can twist that. You're so right. It's sad.
Moon, that brings me to moon signs. Like I'm not really sure how like you and the people listening feel about moon signs, but what I've noticed is like, so I'm a Taurus moon. So I don't have the stability that Taurus suns represent. I don't have like the knowingness of unlimited resources because I don't know any Tauruses who can't just make a resource out of something. Like whether it's something to eat, they just put shit together. I have the fear of that. Our moon signs are the shadow of the sun sign. So like you have a Capricorn moon. So I would think the dark side of Capricorn might be, well, irresponsibility or like you struggle with that. I'm not saying you're irresponsible, but maybe you feel that way. I bet you feel irresponsible a lot.
I do
just like
a lot.
I you know, and that's Cat Moon. Because all you have to do is look at the dark or the more challenged personality traits of zodiac signs for your moon. That's how you understand your moon better. Because when you were born, the whole world was experiencing that moon phase. Even though you were just being born out of your mother, your subconscious downloaded that, you know, so that your soul can be betrayed as that, so that you can hide those things, you know. And that is why when you meet somebody whose sun is on your moon, or if your moon's in their first house, it's different aspects to that trait. Like, I know the darkness of Taurus a lot because of that. Or like when a Taurus is sad around me, I instantly feel it. Even if it's a Taurus actor on the TV, if I know they're a Taurus, like Adele, she's a Taurus, her voice, it don't matter what time of day it is, like I feel Taurus emotion. The moon sign, that I don't know. If you want to know about your darkness, if you want to know what's hidden in there, you want to look to that moon sign for real. And what sign that is, what element it is, the dark traits of that zodiac sign, because it's helped me realize why I have a fear of money. Like, I always think I won't have enough. I save things. Like, I'll buy something new and I'll save it forever. Just because I feel the lack of that resource.
A fear of a lack of stability.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We still got you. So, yeah, so I'm definitely very interested.
Much.
We kind of lost your video right now, but I know we'll get you back. You can still hear us, right? And can you say interference? Not a moment too soon. Shout out to Katiana in the building. Kalesi, Cage McCann, Kim Stewart, Lady Rainstar, Brooklyn Culture. Oh, and Spiritual Butterfly. I wanted to say shout out to Theresa and AK. I wanted to say shout out to the person who pointed out that Empress Light, that oh, okay, she's off. We're gonna get her back on. Shout out to the person who said that Saturn is the Earth Mother or the grandmother, because I do like to see Capricorn as the old crone dynamic. The dark side of Gemini, I think, is fearing that you're not smart enough, fearing that you're not necessarily in the know or hip, and kind of having to make up for that. But yeah, I do like to see Capricorn as like the old crow. Saturn is totally the grandmother. I totally see her as that. There's a masculine image to Saturn that can apply to a woman, maybe just like an elderly masculine woman who's just about her biz, like the crone. I really feel like that's more her. But let's get her back on here. All right. Nah, would Gemini be connected to communications fears around speaking out? Yeah, Ether for sure. Interference. I knew it. Don't worry, we got you, Pisces Priestess. Yeah, Ether, I feel it would be connected towards fears of speaking out for sure. Daisy Divinity, it's you. Why are you interfering our call? Talking about as soon as I come in, she gets kicked out the call. Control your cat moon, Daisy. Okay, I know it's your Leo season. Control your Uranus opposition, Leo. Okay, you're glitching our talk. I'm totally gonna blame you for no reason. To realize the structure to get you to your divine So that's why Atmosphere says, slow down, take a breath. I won't waste my ammo at the Angel of Death. And he's a trip of a Virgo. Yeah, he's totally Virgo. Daisy did, hashtag Daisy did it, right? That's totally Leo. Just hair flip. I wrecked your function. With Saggy, Moon, and Sun, what would that be? A fear of myself? Empress Light? Totally. It could be. More so a fear of like actually taking adventurous risks and sharing your beliefs in sexuality. But I feel like the sun can eclipse that fear. So let's see. A pity the fool. People out here getting married. Oh, I saw it. Amazing. I was gonna say adorable, but that sounded belittling. Y'all are amazing, falling in love and getting together. All right. Whoa. Looks like we're still in the process of plugging back in. We were about to like spice it up too. This is interesting. Okay. Thank you, Empress Light. Let's see. Lady Rainstar, this retrograde has not playing. It's totally been strong. It's been just, I feel like Mercury retrograde has just been fed up and it's just taking out and venting its anger on us. All right, let's see what we got, Charisse. All right. I don't say nothing to the pigs, fool. I don't blast guns, but my niggas do. Get my money legal and illegally, then split the dough with my woes equally. Killing flows, killing shows. I spend a lot of money, then I make some mo. Versatile taught me how to take it slow. Young Jung taught me how to serve it on the low. Yeah, Eddie boy, ready boy. I don't think they hear me sleeping on me, Dr. Sebi boy. I've been low key, kept it quiet for a minute. Let them have they run for a while before I kill it. Niggas think they running shit. They can't even scrimmage. We up in the end zone, touchdown, winning. Yeah. If you hear us on the track, then we live the shit. Bradley Cooper with the racks. Limitless. All right, Charisse. Thank you for the suggestion. All right, we got her back. What's up, Braylin? Your timing is divine. That's all I have to say. Wow. That was truly magical. Thank you so much. Wow. Yeah, that was so worth it. So you're right, Lady Rainstar. I feel like I summoned her. Like, that's amazing. Oh my gosh.
I do love music.
right? When in doubt, what about a verse about that 4K loan? All right, I got 4K on my loan. Okay, so yes, what inspired you to embrace Pisces pre? I know you said that I had a part to do with that, but like, what led you on your journey? What led you to this channel? Like, what really inspired you, even beyond that, to share your gifts?
Okay, well, ever since 2013, I've been watching Kelly Rosano. I've heard you mention her, and I about died. I was like, Mike knows Kelly. She was the first astrologer that I watched monthly, honestly, and I still do. Ever since 2013, I've been watching her monthly religiously.
Okay.
And then, I don't know why it didn't happen before, but it was around 2017 when I kind of branched out, like, wonder what else is on YouTube. Must be more than just this Leo, So, like, I branched out, and I actually found Lada's channel first. And I didn't resonate too much with Lada, to be honest with you. But I resonated a lot with, like, the people who were, like, on her channel. And one of them at the time happened to be you.
Oh,
And this
nice.
is where it's kind of crazy because I don't know what it was, but I clicked on one of your videos. I think it was Pisces season, like around February. And I had a dream about you before I started to watch your videos. Like,
Wow.
I experienced a lot of deja vu. And all I could remember is, like, in my dream, just seeing this Black guy yelling at the computer screen, like, what is good?
Are you serious?
Yes, like, and I didn't know what that was until I actually lived that, because my dreams are just random. But I'm like, he's the guy that yells at my subconscious.
Oh my.
Like, my dream was the actual computer screen. And so, yeah, that's how I recognized you. I was like, this is nostalgic right now. Like, this is deja vu. So the synchronicity started as soon as, like, I found your channel, and then you do tarot. You would do tarot sometimes, and that really got me into that. And I got my first deck. Aries season actually seemed to be significant because you were talking about in 2017. I remember this like yesterday. You were talking about, like, how Aries is the first house, and you talk about who you're becoming. So that is where Pisces Priestess came in. And to be honest with you, it was because of your live chat too. That's what it stemmed from, is because I didn't want, like, I had old YouTube channels from when I was younger, but I made a YouTube channel to be a part of your live. And I wanted to have, like, a cooler name, like, I didn't want to just have my government out there because it was lame. So I remember wanting to make a YouTube channel just for spirituality. And as far as the actual name, it came to me. Like, it just came to me. I wanted it to be powerful. I wanted it to be an extension of who I am. I'm still on that journey. I'm still on that journey of the things Pisces Priestess can do. Like, that's the channeling and the tarot reading. And, like, I picked tarot up very fast, as if I don't know if I read tarot in a past life, but I just think of it as a language similar to astrology, honestly, that has made my life make a lot more sense. It really has. So I've been reading for about 2 years now. It all came in at the same time. Astrology came right in with tarot, and it was 2017 Pisces season, Aries season, two very powerful times, I would say. So yeah, after I made that channel, the first thing I did with my tarot cards is I took out the 12, because I firmly believed that I could not read tarot until I honored each and every one of those zodiac signs. Maybe it's because I'm a Pisces and it's being the all 12 signs. So I wanted to honor, I took them out of my deck, and I didn't really mess with the deck. And until I finished that video, it wound up being exactly 3 hours and 33 minutes long. So that was pretty cool. Wow. That master number. It was weird. It was super weird. But I went on there. It's still up there. It's from years ago. And I was a newbie then, but I was explaining why the Aries is the emperor and why Taurus is the Hierophant. It started with that. And then I thought, okay, now that I've done this video, and I literally did not feel like I could use my deck until, like, I explained and pretty much honored the 12 zodiac signs. After I did that, I started to do monthly videos, which I love doing that. I still do that to this day. And yeah, like I've had just interesting things happen with tarot cards. It just drew me in, and I'm never not going to be a tarot reader now for this lifetime. Like I don't ever see myself. I don't know what I did before I read tarot. Like who was I when I didn't know about that? I've always been drawn to tarot. I've had my tarot read before. So yeah, it's just the rest is history, I guess. But I'm just on this path now. I just love channeling for people. I do read birth charts, which is one of my favorite things to do. But man, is it extensive. Like birth chart readings, I take very seriously because to me, it's like the window to someone's soul. I don't know how people are just so frivolous with their birth time. Like I was born at this time and here's my chart. I'm like, whoa, like let's be careful because certain people out there think they know certain doorways and you just don't want anybody looking into your soul, you know? So I'm careful. I did come out with my chart because I think that's important to be. If I'm going to be a reader, I need people who want to know, you know, the aspects that I have. Here it is. Like I have nothing to hide, so here's my chart. But I'm just sensitive about it. I don't have it up, you know what I mean? Like just chilling where people can just find it. Like I don't know. A lot of people are coming into their charts, which I like to see that. I've noticed a lot more people know their moon and their rising, which is cool. But do you know what that means? Like, you know, I'm just people that are new coming into astrology. I don't know if they know like the sacredness of it, like the actual stars, and it's actually codes, guys. Like I feel like things unlock. There's more that I know now. Like when I knew my chart, there was the me who didn't know my birth chart, and then there's the me now that knows that I'm a Taurus moon and a Capricorn rising. It's just different. It opened up everything for me. Everything. And I try to be that for other people who come to me like, well, what does this mean? So I'm channeling all day long. That's what I do for a living too. I don't really jive with the earthly realm. So this is what I do. Like I chill, I do videos, I channel constantly. Planets, things like that. Like if anything jumps out at me, I try to I do a lot of Instagram writing, you know, when it comes to like major shifts. Lately I've been slacking though because I've just been blown away by all this energy. Like it's just so much energy. I'm like, where am I? Like I'm done. Yeah, sure.
It's like when you said that, it's like I won't say I channeled it from you, but it's like I just kind of got it right now. And I can see why it may feel like we're slacking, but I really get the feel that it's like we're being guided to live in a totally different way than we're living right now, than is contemporary. And it's like we're figuring out how to do that while still being a part of an integrated conventional system. And you know, it could probably come off as we're not doing anything, we're being bummy and getting rest. You know, we're tapping into other worlds and realms, and you know, questioning.
I think there's been an increase in the activity in the subconscious. So we're actually not present in the physical, which is not to say that we're not doing anything. Because as I'm sitting here, like I'm a Pisces. I've heard you say this too, Gemini. Like a Gemini and a Pisces can literally do nothing and we're fine with it. We're fine with it. Like, you know, because that's the best nothing to do. Nothing is the best something. I love this. I hate doing things. Like the Cap in me doesn't appreciate that because the Cap wants to do so much, but the Pisces in me and Taurus is hella lazy too. Like I just be chilling. I be chilling in the comfort of my home, like just doing shit in the subconscious, you know? Like
I could just be stimulated, and it's like to the outside person, it's like nothing, but to me, it's everything. I can spend a whole day just watching anime on the computer, watching YouTube videos, or I could spend a whole day just talking to myself. And I feel enriched. I feel like I got so much accomplished, even though like I did nothing. But it's just like I really respect that. I totally get that. It's so true. And the Taurus just loves being lazy too. That's just like especially the 12th house Taurus. Oh my gosh, that's one of my superpowers. This one of the 7 deadly sins, sloth. But
oh yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm hella sloth.
but it's like laziness has taken on a special type of spirituality for me too. Like this,
Thank God for that. I'm hella spiritual then.
Oh my gosh. I feel
It does require a certain stillness though. Like all bullshit aside, we all know the Hermit. You know what I'm saying? We all know the wisest card in the tarot. That
What's
isolation.
Your life path number?
My life path number is 5.
Okay, so your Hierophant and the Dev. Your Hierophant and Temperance.
Temperance. It's synchronicity. I watched Orange is the New Black yesterday, and they mentioned they're getting really like astrological, and they mentioned tarot cards in relation to birthdays. And literally yesterday, I found that out and I'm glad you confirmed that because I was skeptical, like Temperance, Hierophant.
Orange is the New Black. They said that.
Yeah, it literally, Mike. It's the newest season. You hit play on that, and Piper says, "I'm a Gemini," meaning that I have a sense of duality. Like that show starts out with Gemini. Wow. Like that's her first words, her birth chart. Like she's like, I got my birth chart done, and it turns out I'm a Gemini. She talks about all kinds of stuff, talks about the tarot cards. So for her it was the Chariot, because she must be a June 6th. I think she must, because she said her birth card is the Chariot.
Chariot, yeah.
And that's what led me to research. I'm like, well, shit, what's my tarot card? I love tarot, and it's interesting. Those are 2 of my favorite cards. The Temperance and the Hierophant. But my first favorite is the High Priestess. She's chilling right here. She's always at the bottom of my deck. I don't leave my tarot deck idle without her at the bottom.
Oh, that's wild. I love that.
Yeah, I do a lot of symbolism like that, Mike. Like if I read for a certain sign, I'll wait for their tarot card to show up. That's my way of connecting with their energy. Okay. And sometimes it takes 15, 20 minutes to see that, but I know that's my validation though. So if I'm reading for a Sag, I'll make sure that I see the Temperance card. And whenever the cards do it too, I just shuffle.
Now it makes your readings are like A1, so accurate.
Oh, because I have to make sure I'm connected to that energy. I don't want it to be me at all. So that's why I explain to people in my readings that I don't pull, the way I do cards is I shuffle and let them fall out, period. Mm-hmm. That's period. Sometimes I'll check the underlying energy of the deck, and that's just me, because I want to know that they came out and not by chance.
Gotcha. Yeah. And knowing what you did when you first got your deck makes me even realize more why you're so connected. So that's really.
I don't know why I felt like doing that, Mike. I don't know why, but it was like it's like I had no choice. Like I was directed to do that, and I guess I have that a lot in my life where I'm intuitively guided to do something, but my Capricorn takes it more as an order. And so when it comes from that space and I have discernment, I know when it's just my emotions guiding me to do something. But I do have that, those triggers, I guess. I don't know what they are, but they're just intuition. And sometimes they come out as deja vu too. Like I'll just randomly think about something. Like I knew you would ask me what this was. I knew that. I knew you would ask me what this necklace was. I just knew it. Wow. And I knew the infinity symbol would be important, but I think it's important that Pisces doesn't speak on things too soon, which is why, you know what I mean? And divine timing is important for all beings, but I don't know, the subconscious, it gets weird. I wonder what divine timing is to the subconscious.
Seriously.
You know, kind of alarm clock it would be. Like, don't wake me up, divine timing. I'm sleeping.
Oh, God. True that. So your South Node is in Taurus then too, which is...
My South Node is in Taurus. See, I just realized the degrees and how important they are. So I have certain things in my houses, even though, and I don't know if everyone will understand that, but even though my Mercury's in Aquarius, my Mercury's still in my first, because my Capricorn rising is at a certain degree, I would assume.
Yeah.
So I've got a first house stellium, even though the majority of my planets are, like my Mercury and Venus are in Aquarius. But yeah, my South Node is in Taurus. I'm North Node Scorpio. 10th house Scorpio too. My midheaven and North Node are Scorpio, so I have no choice but to do this work.
Yep. Which is so great. I love the North Node Scorpio, Jen. It's
I've met a few other people. Aquarius Insight is in North Node Scorpio.
Oh, she's so
Aquarian Insight.
Yeah. She was on this channel.
Oh, I watched that. I was like, I can't miss this. Aquarius Gemini, I can't. And I still don't know who's more intelligent, you know?
Well,
not that it matters.
I like to say that Libra is the intelligent one, and then Aquarius is the genius one, and Gemini is the smart one. even though it's like the same words for each of
Yeah,
it.
and then there's Virgo.
Oh,
Virgo's pretty nerdy. Virgo's the nerd. Like I think Virgo knows a lot.
Virgo knows the specifics. They're the analytical ones. Like they'll break it down for you.
The best way I can understand that for me is like Mercury, when you're ruled by Mercury, which is Gemini Virgo. I think Gemini speaks more than Virgo. Like Gemini is the voice of Mercury, but Virgo is is the written. It's the physical. So when you think about words,
Yeah.
Words and physical, I feel would be writing.
Yeah, you're right. You're so right. Like written down. Yeah, that's true. And then Gemini would be like the spoken word. That's
Oh, Gemini speaks. Gemini says what Virgo can't, because they can't. They can't say the shit you guys say.
No, Virgo is thinking if they should say it, and Gemini already said it. That's
because you don't care. You're the Knight of Swords. You're not gonna analyze it right now, man. Like you're mutable. There's too much going on,
but
and
we
that's
need
when you're
Virgo. We told you Virgo like that. That's humbled me so much. Like I gotta slow down. And it's kind of interesting, but yeah, I mean, so profile. I can't wait to have you back on this channel and definitely do some live readings together and just kind of. There's definitely a lot more concepts I would love to explore with you, and once again, like you are very much an event horizon or an event or just a hub of all these divine energies. So. I'll take serious when you, and I know people like to say they channel, but they're just thinking their thoughts. Like when you say you channel, I believe that, you know what I mean? And it's definitely awesome. So let's go to the 3 questions game.
Okay, cool.
Shout out to Chad the Maverick who just joined in. You can start first. You can ask me a question about whatever, and then I'll answer and then ask you a question, and then we'll go 2 more rounds.
All right. Any question I would like to ask you? Oh God, I'm very spiritual, so they're probably going to be spiritual. Cool. Okay. I can use the first one as something a little less serious. So I want to know if like blues could do, we can too. Like when you jump in, if you could do that to any tarot card, which tarot card would you jump into?
I could say the 10 of Cups. We got the Lovers here. I love this card, but I would duty into a pause. An actual card with scenery.
Ooh. Right, I was thinking that too.
Let's see. This.
I guess mine would be the 6 of Wands.
The 6 of Wands is nice. We got the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. Okay, this is hard for me to ask. Every day more and more, I love this card. This is my birth card. I love the Hermit.
Oh, cool.
I respect
it. You wise.
So, okay, I would jump into this card. I would jump into this card. I would jump into this card. I would jump into this card, Mars and Aries, but I'm going to go, and this card too, but I'm going to go back fundamental, and I would jump into this card. For sure.
Yeah, I see that. Why wouldn't you want to? Like, you have everything you need right there. You could manifest anything from that card. So you're actually really smart. That's a loophole. Like if you had 3 wishes, that's like wishing for fairy godparents for one of your wishes. So you have unlimited wishes.
There you go. Vocifer, that's beautiful. Good to know. Nice. Hey, you know what? My second question is along a similar vein. Like, I think you answered this already, but if you could become an archetype, a major arcana archetype for a day, what would it be?
A major arcana card. If I could become that. Well, I'm not going to say the High Priestess because I feel like that's such a reflection of like what my day-to-day life truly is. So why would I want to waste, So let's see. Major arcana.
It doesn't even have to be major then. It could be minor too. If you could just be any card for a day.
Be any card.
I was going to ask you your favorite card, but I'm going to go with if you could be the card.
Okay, because if it's favorite, I have to say the High Priestess because that is my favorite. I do love the Lovers.
Yeah.
If I could jump, what I'm going to do? I'm going to take one for the team, jump into the Devil card and free those people. Free those poor people. They have always chained there.
Nice. Until you go and they're like, we want to be chained here.
Exactly. Like, hold up. You could have took that off the whole time, big ass chain. I try to help them the best I could.
That was very wow. I like that answer. I really like that answer.
It was energetic. I had to say it.
Okay. Well, we are on round 2.
Alrighty. Okay, let's see. Question for Magic Mike. So I won't say what zodiac sign you'd want to be, although you can answer that. But I want to know what element sticks out the most to you and why. Or you know what? I'm going to change that. I guess you can answer this, all of them or whatever. We're mutable here, so we'll just cheat and answer multiple questions at once. But I also want to know a little bit about the planet. Like what planet also. So I guess element and planet, whatever one you want to answer.
That's such a good.
Yeah.
So I've been embracing them. I've been like, what element and planet?
Yeah, I know that's cheating, but
no, it's still a great question. We could say it's 2A and 2B, but it's like I've been embracing the elements more because the step of magic that I'm in is like being an avatar and mastering the elements, and I've been so airheaded and air mage. I'm a wind mage, and then I look at my chart and I realize like I only have the only air I have in my chart. The only air I have in my chart, other than like the North Node in Aquarius and Osiris in Aquarius, is my Sun in Gemini. Everything else is Earth, and then like Jupiter in Cancer. So like I have this hidden potential of Earth that I haven't necessarily tapped into. And like, I'm really wanting to like, you'll see this reflected in my body and like my values, but I really want to like tap back into Earth more. As far as the element, I'm going to say air, because that's where my heart, even though my heart is with Earth and the Earth is real and all my power is in Earth, air is how I harness the magic. To me, that Gemini is like the sword of truth for me. And there's a freeness to air, but I lack fire. Being motivated and being energetic and like getting up in the morning and having the passion to, I'm the dude that's going to go home early from parties because like I'm earth world. Like I'm not really that. I'm pretty boring. I'm trying to find someone to be boring with, but I can have fun. I still got the Mars and Aries, right? But I've been humbled really by realizing I need to make up for that lack of fire. And I have Jupiter in Cancer, which is a good water, but I want to say you asked such a great question because the planet that I want to say is Saturn, because I know Saturn's the world card, and I feel like I'm gonna really unlock. I feel like I'm tapping into Saturn's power more than ever and learning what it means to like be in control and liberate myself. And in that vein, I might say Earth, but I want to say air is the element. And I almost want to say Jupiter because Jupiter is a key into expanding, but I've definitely been focusing a lot more on Saturn as a planet, obviously Saturn and air. I have a progressed moon in Aqua right now, but it's crazy because as I say air, the earth in me is like, say earth, say earth.
Okay, so that's what it is. Because I'm like, what is this tug going on that I felt?
Yeah, it's like it's crazy. So
there's a need to say earth because we do need earth.
Yeah,
is it because you think because you have so much of that, so you're like, why earth? I have so much of that. I'm so used to that. Because I have a lot of earth too, just based off my moon and rising, and just that just takes it for me.
Yeah,
I have a pretty balanced. I think I have 6 of each actually in my chart. I have 6 planets and like 6. If I counted the houses and the planets, I did realize that it's an equal 6 of all elements. Which that's the first thing I realized is that I literally have 6 things in fire, 6 things in air, 6 things in earth, and 6 things in water. So it's pretty balanced, I guess.
You're an avatar too, but that's amazing. It's extremely balanced. I have like at least 1 planet in all elements, but not as balanced. Like that's I had a surplus. So I'm glad you pointed it out. I'm gonna say Earth then, because like I love air, but I do have a need for Earth because there's just so much untapped treasure that I have in the Earth. Because I've been in my head, I've been thinking that I'm just an air sign. So now I'm just slowing it down. Someone gave a great reading to me. It was like, it's in your head, but now you need to make your magic real and like, integrate it. And Saturn has really, is teaching me about godhood. It's teaching me about being responsible. It's teaching me about death. So very grateful. And my question for you is, what do you feel? Fascinating question, by the way. What do you feel? Like, let's say you're leading. Yeah. Let's say you're in a classroom with children, or you're talking to like a contemporary group of adults. What do you feel is like the next step for us spiritually? Like people are starting to come into the knowledge of their birth charts slowly but surely. Where do you feel is like, and it doesn't have to be based on astrology too, but like, what is a topic you feel is really important for us to focus now, as far as like spiritual development and accountability?
Well, a lot of things came up there, especially the direct question of where do you think humanity is going spiritually? Okay, so the first thing I thought of is aliens. The thing following that was the acknowledgement of time travel and the existence of like multiple dimensions. I know that there are people that study that and there's movies that portray that, but I mean the actual proof, and that it's a common thing that like we just know that time
parallel realities.
Parallel realities, yeah, the multiverse, things like that. Yeah, like I think that's why I think a lot of these shows are coming out too that seem to be centered around that are just trying to lightly tap our subconscious and like symbolize that to us. Like we live it vicariously through a show, but really they're trying to prepare us.
And quantum mechanics supports the model for parallel realities. Unfortunately, they're parallel, so we can't live them at the same time, but they do exist. It's possible they do exist. And who's to say we can't draw on an energy too, as it runs parallel to us?
They talk about that in Stranger Things when they talk about the upside down and how basically we'd have to create a hole in that theory to open up a gateway. And we do have that Lions Gate coming up, that 8/8 on August 8th. And the Sirius Gateway was, well, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, but it was serious. Like it felt very intense. So yeah, I think astrology and crystals, meditation, and the vegans, like all of that stuff I feel is preparation for what's going to happen mentally. And that's interesting to say as a Pisces because it feels more Aquarian. It may be my Aquarius Mercury that's saying this, but I think it has a lot to do with that, just understanding it mentally, the mental of like I guess what I'm talking about is the collective consciousness. Like, I think we're all evolving in that way. And who's to say what that would be physically? It's kind of interesting to think of what the physical proof of where humanity is going spiritually. But I do think it's going to be I think it will come from the subconscious, which is why we're doing far more in our dream state than what we ever have before. It's very strange. And I can tell because of the state of my dreams. It's very strange. I have little to no recollection, which is not normal for me. And they'll be straight up like everything's super important in my dreams now. Everything else is like shaded out, and that's just not normal for me. So I know that there's some real serious work that Neptune is doing in the subconscious of humanity, especially being in Pisces retrograde. And I think we'll have a more clear answer to that when Neptune goes direct, because we're doing some major stuff. The spiritual realm and what we think is fantasy, like Neptune's baby feeds us, because we have, as humans, that kind of stuff is kind of meant to stay under the surface there. But we all know what's going on when we sleep. I want to ask everybody here how they've been sleeping, because I don't sleep until about like 6 a.m.
Oh my God, I'm the only one, thank God.
No, definitely not. the insomnia is real, and it's because our subconsciouses are like hyperactive right now. I think that has something to do with the North Node in Cancer being ruled by the moon too. The destiny of the subconscious, like where our destiny is going as far as, I don't know, I almost want to say sleep society. You know, people who are still asleep. Neptune rules that too.
Yeah,
people who are asleep.
I feel, and see, that's where we get to the. I feel like Neptune rules so much. Uranus and Neptune rule so much more than we understand, and like we have this view of what Neptune is, and it's like rules so much more, and consequently Pisces too. Like we just have this limited understanding of y'all, and like
that's the outer planet thing. Those outer planets, they're outer for a reason.
Yeah, and you know what tripped me out on a Snapple fact? That the Earth is within the sun's atmosphere. So it made me think, okay, we take in the warmth and the love of the sun, and then like Pluto and Neptune are probably outside the sun's atmosphere. So like they're probably cold because they're not in that inner sun circle like Venus and Mercury are. So I want to see where it ends, because that'll be kind of interesting to see. But yeah. So that was well said. Like, yeah, I totally agree. Aliens for sure. I feel like
and robots. I have to mention robots, like AI. Yeah, guys. AI.
All the like most influential people have been warning us against AI, like Elon Musk and like I just said like one person, but like yeah.
I think it's important for humanity, because I don't want to get into race or anything, but that's been a thing in my household lately. In watching Orange is the New Black, it's very racial focused right now. Okay. Yeah, and I feel like that's good. You know, but yeah, I do think it has a lot to do with us all remembering that there's only one race, which is the human race, and I can't get with some of the fights going on right now, because I literally just, my mind isn't there. Like I believe in Pangea. You know, I'm still feeling that, like the fucking utopia that there's no proof of, but that's my world. Like that's what I dream of and what I want. I'm all for humanity, like, you know, being one, and I know that we're all stronger together, but it's gonna take something very rare, like a robot or an alien or the end of the world, apocalypse type stuff, to just not care if the person next to you is Black, Mexican, whatever they are, they're fucking human. You know, they're not this thing that came here to threaten us. It may take something like that to evolve us spiritually.
Well, thankfully, because there is a block. Yes, there is.
Hugely. Oh, it's actually devastating to the empaths out there. Like a lot of empaths, there's just like a constant state of heartbreak that I pick up on. You know, I do a lot of readings, and there's a lot of Three of Swords action going on here for the collective. So we're all, I guess that's the North Node in Cancer, though, that those feelings, you know, I think Cancers are always in a constant state of heartbreak, constantly. That's a water sign thing, but I feel the vibes. Maybe some people here watching are like feeling that kind of vibe too, but I feel it. Maybe it's because Leo season. Leo's ruled by the heart chakra. Maybe that's why I'm starting to feel that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely. And it's so spot on. And your wish is coming true, because Pluto in Aquarius is the beginning of the end. The end of age will begin there. All the end of the world prophecies will come back into fruition. Like we're going to be alive for this time. And one thing that's just fascinating about human behavior is, you know what I mean? Like we separate ourselves between race. My parents were a part of a Biafran war where they're all Nigerian, but they divided against religion. You know, you put a room full of white people together, they're going to be prejudiced against, oh, this one's Irish, this one's Jewish, this one's Italian. So like hate is hate. Like there's always going to be division. We're using race now, but it's just sad. Like we need to we are one human race. We all bleed. We all have the same skeleton. It's crazy how we know this, but we don't like practice it. And prejudice it's very Three of Swords. It's very Three of Swords.
Law of separation, yeah.
So well done, well said. I think I asked you that was the third. Was that the third question?
I think technically it was second, but we've asked some questions within questions though.
I guess we could do one more round then. Yeah,
See, I'm a very serious question asker. And like, I don't like to waste opportunities like this because I think it's really important. So let's see.
Sunflower seeds. Yeah, my parents are Igbo. They're Nigerian.
And they're just questions, right?
Yeah, it could be about anything, personal, spiritual. I'm on the hot seat right now.
Okay. I guess I'd like to ask you basically what it means to you. Like, I want to know, this may be a pretty loaded question, and I know there's time sensitivity, but I want to know about your journey, like as the peace dealer and what that means to you, because I know lately there's been a lot of projection at you. And I've followed it through. I know that there's multiple people you could name that come for you. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate that as a friend of yours.
No.
And as someone who reads energy, and I don't sense, and I'm not like the voice of God or anything, but I'm here to speak on just how much you've helped me. And so I just wanted to give you that opportunity to speak on what it means to. I think you do that a lot, but I don't know why that came to me. I just want to know what you stand for as the peace dealer, what that means to you. It's always good to re-explain that sometimes, even for yourself, so that you can recenter yourself and kind of come into that energy again, because people taint shit. Like, people say your name and they post your name, and your name's attached energetically to all this shade. So
yeah,
I guess it's good to remind everybody here, even haters that may be listening, who you are and why people feel drawn to you in the first place, like what that means to you, I guess.
So you asked the greatest questions. Like, so shout out to OJC. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Thank you
Hi, Olivia.
I really want to get you and Olivia and I on a talk together. It's gonna be so dope.
That would be, they better just get ready. I'll just say that.
For real. So like, it's very important because like there's a troll that just came in here right now, and there's many levels of this. When we look at the hate that's coming for me, and I know I'm not the only one. Every single one of us that decides to walk this path, we put ourselves open at risks and stuff like this. So if we just look at facts, and that's why like I'm so grateful for the support that we've helped build together, really. And it's sound, you know what I'm saying? If we just factually take all the people who throw shade, if we take all the people who have come for me, if we take all the people who have hated, and we go back in time and we stack all their claims, which they don't even usually make claims whenever they throw shade. There's so many people who throw shade at me, I don't even realize, because like I don't even like to really, focus on that stuff. But it's always interesting whenever you question them, whenever you confront them about it, they will never give you a real claim. They will never tell you something real. They'll either make something up, they'll twist something that's not true, or like they'll throw some fallacy, like some straw man fallacy. They'll throw some ad hominem. They'll attack my character in a way that doesn't really address the point that's being made.
It's
And
irrelevant.
this
It's opinionated. Like, they're confusing opinions with truth. And that's the problem.
And projections and hearsay from other people. I mean, I've had somebody confront, who, I'm not even going to say her name, about accusations that she's made about me. And, this person asked her as a third party, and her response to her was, "Oh, I don't have any proof. I'm just saying this because he made a video about me." You know what I'm saying? So like outright, and I welcome the challenge and conflict because it's taught me the power of Capricorn. It's taught me the power of having integrity and walking with truth. Because when you walk with integrity, you have nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I have done wrong, I can be open about it. I can share it with you guys. That's why I love you all. Like you open and hold this space for me to be vulnerable, for me to be me, for me to get called out, for me to keep it real. And you know what I'm saying? I know moving forward as this trend continues and people try and twist stuff to make others believe whatever. This Saturn makes you strong. This at least gives me faith that I can walk through powerfully, even no matter how hard the trials get through. So the reason why I say there's levels to this is, there's definitely that level of people who I trigger something deep in them. I represent a facet of them that they hate within themselves. And so they recognize that within me and they project it on me. And this is why a lot of the attacks are very irrational. They stem up. You watch out for the ops. They're out here. Exactly. They stem out of jealousy. Jax kind of said this very. Shout out to Jax. He realized that like I make it easy for people to underestimate me, and they think that we're on the same page until they realize we're not. And some people kind of get a bit salty that I don't hold them to a high esteem that they do in their heads. And then you also have to bring the other layer that I am seen as the scum of the earth. Okay, I'm the son of a Nigerian, right? So they already see as a scam artist, and I'm already doing something that people see as fraudulent. I read tarot. I know a lot of people see me as a con man. It doesn't help that my father has, had trouble with the law and has been outed as a fraud himself. And so, it's easy for people to say, oh, just like father, just like son. I know I get all that connotation. I know people hate, and it's interesting because I can see where it's coming from. You see an emerging entrepreneur like me that's taking what he loves and is making a living off of it. And, there are lots of people who have spent money on college degrees. There's lots of people who bust their ass to make a living. And then they see me doing this and it makes them jealous. It irks them at a certain level. They don't think it's fair. They can't accept that I have a gift. I have to automatically be spamming people. And it really just disrespects y'all who trust me as if you guys don't have a brain to think for yourselves. Like, I automatically have to be scamming because I'm making this work. So I can look at that and laugh because I could let that get to me, but it's like people are in such denial that they're not willing to have a heart to heart. If they were really about it, you shouldn't be able to not have a conversation. But what does the dark forces do? They're deceptive. Instead of having a talk with the source, they talk to other people to change how people, perceive me instead of really address it honestly. And you know what Saturn taught me? Your actions will define you, and whatever you do will come back and it will be revealed. So all I can do is move forward. And that's what I reflect as the peace dealer. Some people try and like throw shade and call me the peacemaker. Some people like to say, oh, you're the peace dealer. How come you're creating so much conflict? Peace and chaos are two sides of the same coin. In order to create peace, you need to manage conflict. Sometimes you need to create chaos to build more peace.
Yeah,
And
those people don't respect basic duality. Like, you can't expect them to recognize this level of authenticity. You can't expect them to see it. I'm happy.
It's their very existence.
Yeah, they're missing out. I'll say that much.
And some people are bitter and they just want to hate, and it's not just me they're hating on. That's why I don't take it serious. If we were a fly in the wall of their life, they're venting and projecting on so many people, and they're oblivious and they're blaming everyone else. They don't realize they're the problem. So I can never take it possible, but I can never take it personal. And it wasn't until like a year or two after the peace dealer came to me, I realized the numerology of all fronts, like the life path number name, the destiny name is all 999. My life path.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Yeah. So the peace dealer represents like the lightning sage, or rather the hermetic wisdom that, at its basic core deals peace. So there's a difference between making peace and dealing peace, right? I like to play off of like being a drug dealer, but instead of dealing drugs, I deal peace, that you don't need substances to, what I'm saying, abuse. You can get that peace. You can get that peace of mind, that clarity. So It really, but as far as like a mission statement, I really, with Mystical Illuminations, I seek to spread this more misunderstood esoteric knowledge in a palatable, fun way for to connect people as a Gemini, to connect others and see that we are more alike, and that, you know, we can resolve our differences peacefully. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to relish in drama, because Mercury is a trickster, and sometimes there's an element of Elegua that is tricky because we know how to read people's personalities. We know how to play situations to reveal people's true characters, and you know sometimes the piece comes out that way. So you know people's true motives get exposed when they beef with me, because I don't have anything to hide. I don't really deceive like that. So, you know, a lot of people like to hide the real reason. I always like to say, why are you really mad? Because you're bringing up reasons,
I've been saying that lately.
right? Like the reasons you're bringing do not match your actions. If you are really mad about something that I said, you could talk to me about it. Why are you really mad? What are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? If there are aspects about my character you don't like, why aren't you talking to me about it? Why are you talking to people? And it's crazy because a lot of people who talk about me don't know me. Like you have people who are very loyal, faithful, like supporters who actually invest in the services and products and what I offer, and like y'all have been day ones, and then there are people who, you know, the people who only visit your page when they want to criticize something or disagree, and it's like they have most to say, but we've never had a conversation. I don't know you, and you're talking about me like we know each other, like you know my life, like you know who I am. I literally had somebody tell me that. I literally had someone show me a message saying that, oh yeah, don't mind the peace dealer. I can name you 5 women that he's been manipulating. I don't even know this woman. And if we were to bring her on here right now to bring up and ask and talk about those 5 people and bring up those 5 people, they won't be able to tell you anything real, because people just like to make stuff up. And so to really answer your question, this is the ultimate layer of this. Please hit that like button if you haven't, by the way. I see this as more spiritual. I can never take it personal, because I see these people as weak minds who allow dark forces to possess them. Like take the beef with Amber, for example. Like I can never really hate Amber, because I didn't want to say her name, but I can never really hate Amber because I see it for what it is. You have 2 pillars in the community. If we were to join forces together, we'd be unstoppable. So of course, get us to beef against each other, right? Get there to be conflict between each other, and get people. You know, I could totally see the motives. I'm an 8th house Cap moon with Neptune and Uranus there. So my secret is I'm going to trick you and I'm going to talk to you, but on a body language level, I'm pulling your secrets. Like, and we're talking about the core of your soul that's unfiltered by your rational mind and your mask. I know what you feel inside. And so, like, I just pretend to listen to people because a lot of people are full of crap. They lie to themselves, they lie to me. And like, I can know what's motivating someone, and I can tell when someone's being used by a dark force. So I kind of treat that at a more spiritual level. Instead of get angry at the person, I get angry at the energy behind it. I hate the sin, not the sinner. So
Oh, that's dope. And that is a really intelligent way. Like it takes intelligence, it takes a sound mentality to not even come from a place of ego like that. Like, because there's people that they're not gonna be on that level for a while, if you know what I mean. Because I guess it just takes looking at yourself in the mirror and being okay with what you are, and also being okay with what people say that you are that you know you aren't. You know, you got to know who you are to know what other people are saying aren't true.
so
You don't
true.
have anyone to prove that to but yourself, because you're the person who's going to live with yourself and die with yourself. Not anyone. There ain't no coffin bunk beds last time I checked. So you're going alone. And the only person, I don't think that Judgment Day is anyone but your own self standing in front of you. Or
Wow.
possibly the other people, you know, what people felt about you, what you left behind as an energetic influence. You know what I mean? Not the things people say, not the time you stole from Kmart or any of those things. I think it all comes down to integrity, you know? And that's
Yeah.
something I'm able to sense too. And I don't think people like that, because they're so used to being able to creep around and be fake comfortably. That's not a thing anymore. It's going to get stronger. I think it's just now the fraudulent is starting to come out. That Seven of Swords, sneaky ass energy. And that card is very symbolic because it's bright as fuck in that card. He ain't doing that in the night. You know what I'm saying? He's in the broad daylight. Don't care if he's seen type of thing. Yeah. So
and that's to each their, it's a lot. Our culture for decades has glorified dishonorable actions out of integrity. We've glorified having shallow one-night stand sex with each other. We've glorified being killers, robbers. We've glorified, but then at the same time, you know, judge each other for not upholding the law. It's just incongruous. It's hard not to, you know, tap into that. So, I mean, it's not easy. It's been a challenge to rein in my Mars and Aries because sometimes I want to react and get all in my ego. But, you know,
Aries is going through Chiron though, so all of we're wounded.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm glad Chiron's out of Pisces, don't get me wrong, but Chiron and Aries is a very different, I think I felt that more than anything. Even Neptune's retrograde, like when Chiron finally released from Pisces, I was just like, wow, like I can just cry normally now, you know, like I don't have to feel overly victimized, gosh, because that, you know, Chiron and Pisces have some similarities going on there. It was a nice transit. I think we all learned how to subconsciously heal ourselves, but now we have to heal who we are, Mike. And that's exactly what we were just talking about. Maybe that's why I asked you that question. You're healing who you are.
It was such a good question. It was healing to even say that. So thank you so much.
I think I felt that. Instead of thinking of what I wanted to ask you, because I have tons of questions for you, but I just felt what energetically needed to be said, you know?
Nice. Well, my final question for you is, if you could trademark a superpower that is like pinpointed, like a TM, like trademark that you could use repeatedly with measurable effect, which I'm pretty sure you do now, what would it be?
I'll probably just choose one of the ones I have a lot of control over, which is superpower. And see, it's interesting, superpowers, because there's abilities and then there's superpowers, but I would say astral projection, which is not something I'm condoning because it's very like I have a Libra friend who like adamantly wants to astral project, and I'm like, Joe, like not to out him, but like no, dude, you don't want to mess around with it. It's cool to do, and I think we're able to do it, but
thank God for you. There's not enough people warning against astral projection. Like, I mean,
even the people sought after it, like they think it's really cool, but it's not like a trip. It's actually going to a different, like you just watch Stranger Things and go to the upside down. If you really want to know, like that world is okay. When I astral project, I wake up and my whole body is sore. I don't like everything I just experienced in the dream is now me. And so my day's fucked, you know, like if I felt a certain energy, if you leave your body, that's very dangerous. It's kind of like if you've seen Insidious, you can't leave your vessel empty like that. The further is a better way to put the upside down. So if you've seen Insidious, which is one of the scary, I love horror movies. I don't get scared very easily, but the Insidious concept is scary to me because of the astral travel, the idea of that, the projection and dream walkers. Like I'm a Pisces. The dream world is where I come from. It's my home. So when I sleep, and I love sleep, I sleep a lot of my life away, but I do a lot of dream work. Like everything I can't do in my reality, I do in the dream world because it's more of a subconscious based thing. But yeah, to answer your question, I would say that so that I could harness it more as a superpower and not just something that I have to do, because I do it all the time. And like, I'm not even really sure what it is, but because of it, my waking state is on a constant loop of synchronous. Like I just know things about what's going to happen. It's not always easy. It can make you feel crazy. I'm just comfortable with my level of sanity because I just think that everyone's unique, and what my life is lived is, it doesn't mean that the way someone else is living is different. I'll let Virgo figure out the lifestyles of everybody. For me, it's just more about spirit. You know, it's more about me just having the abilities for a reason. For all I know, like I've straight up exercised demons in my dreams. Straight up. And it's weird. It's a very weird thing to do. And I just utilize the all the elements have helped me a lot with that. Like I've had panic attacks and stuff in my dreams. And for me, the 4 elements have become more of a spell that I recite. Like I do recite all the zodiac sometimes, or I'll say that I'm grounded by earth, I'm passionate like fire, I'm emotionally protected by water, and I'm intellectually protected by air, and boom. That's all I have to say, and it cures stomach aches, it cures fear, it cures anything's wrong. Like if there's someone around you and you say that, if you say all the elements like that, they will leave you alone. It's worked for me, and I just wanted to share that with everybody because there's nothing that the 4 elements can't, like everything stems from the 4 elements, I believe. You know, and I know there's a 5th one, that there's spirit too, but after I got into Wicca and just the 4 elements have become very, very important to me. I like to say that whenever I'm afraid, if there's a person that's bothering you, no one is stronger than all 4 elements combined. That's why we have avatars. That's why we have kind of like the show, you know, where those things are hinted at. There's just a reason. It's the pinnacle is what it is. It's the pinnacle that everyone thinks is so evil in Wicca. It's the pinnacles that we see on the tarot cards. Those are called pinnacles, like the 6 of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. It's a huge representation. Now that inverted, that's a little different. If you put it upside down, there's people who work more with that.
And even that's debatable. Like even that's not as evil as people have come to see. Like some people have used it as devil worship, but the essence of the inverted pentagram isn't in and of itself. But you're right. Even the upright one, I totally agree.
Yeah, I felt a little weird about the pinnacle. I actually went to, it was this random full moon ceremony with practical strangers, but my soul a few years ago was called to do that, and that's what got me on my path of Wiccan. And I didn't know that that's basically what I was studying for years. Like I've always had a love for all the elements. I was very, very personally affected by the series Avatar. I didn't get into the Legend of Korra as much. I haven't gotten to the Legend of Korra, but Avatar, that whole thing, except for when I realized the avatars, aren't they mainly airbenders? Because I was going to be one for Halloween.
I thought that they were only airbenders, but there's a cycle. So it goes like the last Avatar was a firebender. This was an airbender. Korra is a waterbender. And the next Avatar.
That makes so much sense. That makes way. See, now that was meant to happen because I just got to have my facts straight. I was going to be the Avatar for Halloween and have like the blue arrow. And then I'm like, hold up. I ain't no airbender. I don't got air like that. You know, I haven't mastered air at all. Not really. Not when it comes to like, I don't think so, at least. I don't think so, at least. Like, I'm far more water and earth focused. So, but that's good. I didn't know they were in cycles. That's
recently too. Like recently.
Wow. So that was meant to be said. That just blows my mind, honestly. I like that. I just discovered that with you. I don't know why it's so important right now, but I'm like, okay, cool. Because I didn't like that. And like their air, all air, like avatars were air, but it did make sense. It made a lot of sense. But they can have all elements, I guess. What'd you say?
I started getting ego for a bit. I was like, yeah, see, air signs are the best because we can be the avatar.
I don't know if you guys caught that, but I've got some flickering. Did you see the lights go off at my end?
Like vaguely, because yes. What?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
The last time my lights flickered like that was when I did the water. If you guys check out my water sign rants, when I did my rants back in 2015, when I was messing with Pisces, my light started to flicker, and I was just like, "See, Pisces." So yeah, that's crazy. Like, yeah, I love it. So let's actually shift to. Do you have your cards on you, perchance?
I do. I have them right here.
Sweet. Let's draw like for the elements. Now that we've been talking about elements, we'll just do like a quick I can draw a card and then you can draw or I'll have you lead. So you'll draw a card, you could choose which element we start with and then I'll pull a card.
I feel like we should start with fire.
Yeah, for sure.
I usually just honor the this is probably gonna be for Sag, Aries, and Leo, right? Is that how we're gonna do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just get a fire sign message for you guys. So what's the message for fire? I think the Empress just came out. The Empress.
Nice.
So that is Aries female, but we have the 3 of Wands at the bottom too, guys. So that's literally all of you. I always see the 3 of Wands as all 3 fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sag.
Nice.
But we got some abundance. We got some beauty. We got the planet Venus showing up for you guys because y'all need to feel the love, fire signs. You guys, your flames are out. And I know it because I work with candles, and my candles have been burning down a little bit. It's been hard to light them and stuff. And that's that fire energy. So I think you guys like the heart space for Sag, Aries, and Leo. For some reason, the heart is coming up, and it's about, I know you guys are all waiting on certain stuff. The fire signs, like Leo season, is making you guys want to travel the distance. With this 3 of Wands is telling me that. For some of you, it's like work and stuff like that too, or just collaborating with certain people because when a fire sign lacks passion, they try to make up for that lack of passion. And Sag gets hate for this, but they try to collab with people to make the passion more, because fire signs understand that passion is group oriented. Like the more the people are around, the more the party's jumping, kind of thing. So I do think there has to be a reason that this mother is showing up for you guys, because she came out kind of weird too, and she came out rather quickly. So I think this has to do with waiting for love for a lot of you too. I know that's cheesy, but someone out there needs to hear it, that you're waiting for love. 3 of Wands and the Empress, that's long distance love, love in the distance. I'm telling you, somebody needs to hear that. Like their heart is barely beating anymore. Someone out there watching, like barely beating heart, like heartbroken, haven't felt love in at least 3 years or so, and you're starting to give up on that energy. And it's self-love too, I'm hearing. The Empress is alone in this card, and she's beautiful and abundant, and she can give birth to something. She kind of reminds me of the Mother Mary in this situation. And the only reason my guides would show me that is to tell you that you can create something on your own. Mary didn't need a man or whatever. She's able to create. That's what Virgo, I've heard Dolo say that. Dolo, the pilot man, he talked about Virgo being the only zodiac sign that can create something from nothing, because of that whole Virgin Mary aspect.
Oh, wow.
So, that just came to me just now for some reason. So yeah, this is about something that, fire signs, there's something that's very abundant in your future. You can feel the passion of it now, but you don't have, like, you don't see it physically around you. You just know it's coming with the 3 of Wands. But it's about, for some reason, the vibration of love. Maybe it's Venus that just entered Leo. I think that's going to really fire the fire signs up, if you know what I mean. So the fire is coming, guys. That's my message for you, that the passion, like, I know you guys haven't been feeling it. At least the people I'm feeling right now, like there's been kind of a disconnect. I think Cancer season just drowned everything. You know how fire is with water. I know there's that steam thing that comes up. So that's what Leo's doing, is evaporating all that heavy Cancer energy as much as it can. Because, Leo was the North Node last year. So Leo still has that Leo remembers. Leo remembers being the North Node. So they've got that energy. Like, I know, Cancer, you're the North Node, but I was before. So I still got my destiny, So interesting. What'd you pull, Mike? Did you pull one yet?
I pulled the High Priestess.
Ooh, did she reverse? Because the Empress did fall off the table in reverse too.
I do upright. It was.
Me too.
I thought that, upright. But like you said, feel the love, and Empress is Venus, and the High Priestess was Moon. So I thought you kind of nailed that. And I guess to add on to it, it's really a sacred revelation, and really being intuitively led with the lovers. You're developing a spiritual connection. You're developing a spiritual connection with someone you feel across time and space. And I think your advice is perfect. It's just to kind of allow it to grow, because you've cleared the energy, and you're definitely, the High Priestess is going to reveal direct intuitions in a very powerful way.
There might be some secret love affairs out there too with the High Priestess and lovers. That's like secret lover stuff going on. I just don't want the fire signs to feel a lack of abundance and confuse that for their lack of passion, because you can feel the lack of passion and still be abundant, guys. It's just important that you guys are all feeling that, because we need Aries to scream, we need Leo to dance, and Sag, we just need you to be expansive and just keep dropping knowledge on people and being fiery and never change.
Even though they're changeable. And
yeah, true.
The ever changing. But you're right. It's like even though they're ever changing, they'll never change. That's like their duality. It's kind of crazy.
True. Oh my God, Sag will never change. Hopefully neither Leo will either, Aries. But like I said, Mike, fire is not the element that I've mastered. I don't have like my only Leo energy is Mars. And so
Same
that's
here. My only fire energy is Mars. I haven't
really.
mastered fire. I've mastered it in a progress sense, like in our progress charts it has, but we don't have as much like proficiency with fire as we do Earth and
And
other
I
elements.
think we have Mars and fire because our passion is tested in moments of anger. So please
Yes.
keep that in mind, because I've been getting really triggered with my anger, and I've been really trying with my Mars return just to not, because people steal my passion when I'm angry. They steal it. So we have got to be careful of that. We're our most passionate when we're angry, I guess.
Yeah.
Which makes,
Yeah.
it makes sense. So I guess we would do Earth next, right? Fire, Earth.
Yep.
All right, let's pull a message for Earth. Whoa, okay. The Eight of Swords came out and went back in. Okay, what's the message for all the Earth signs watching? Sun, Moon, Rising, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. All right, the Three of Swords showed up. All right, yeah, a lot of sadness, Earth signs. First, the Eight of Swords.
Said the eight
What'd you get, Mike?
I saw the Nine of Swords when you said the Eight of Swords.
Oh wow! So either way, that's hella like the Earth signs seem to be a little bit more air. Maybe that's why that Earth and you felt Earth and air pulling. You remember when I asked you what element you should choose? It's because Earth and air are up to something right now.
Oh,
They really are. Logic and intellect, fine line there. But obviously, the Earth signs are in a bit of emotional conflict. I pulled the Five of Cups for Earth, for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, but I have the Eight of Wands at the bottom, and that Eight of Swords actually faithfully stayed around. Most of you guys, it's in regards to relationship, because I do have the Two of Cups. Like, that's what I pulled. I pulled the Two of Cups and the Eight of Swords, so there's a lot of mental anxiety around if you're ever going to share your emotion with another person. I think there's a lot of Earth signs watching that feel a bit of regret, whether that's not being, you know how it is with Earth signs, you guys oppose water. So as a Capricorn rising and a Taurus moon, I honestly do understand that whole water Earth thing. But we've got something that needs to change at an emotional level, guys, with the Five of Cups. That can talk about regret, disappointment, and depression, for lack of a better term. But something is all water under the bridge now. And because of that, there's going to be some quick action and movement elsewhere. Like, you guys are getting out of depression, I feel. Some of you might be traveling to do that, or maybe there's significant communication online, because the Eight of Wands seems to be very important. Like, some of you, there needs to be quick movement away from something that's confining you. Like, the Eight of Wands to me is, and we have 2 8s. I didn't even realize that, but the bottom here is 8 8. So that's kind of infinity, if you ask me. So 8 8 might be important to somebody. Maybe August, because that's August. So that's what I have, is the Five of Cups.
I got the Moon card.
Interesting.
And it's interesting because under the Moon card is the Eight of Swords.
Oh, okay. So that's not a mistake. That both of the underlying, like, if I were to move my first card, the Eight of Swords is behind it. If you were to move your first card, the Eight of Swords. So there's some subconscious traps or something.
And my front card was the escapism, like Seven of Cups. So
a lot of water, there's no escaping it.
A lot of what I got with Earth is, you feel deep inside there's this the Earth signs are getting this inner calling, and they don't know how to make sense of it. It's a part of them that feels so deeply misunderstood, but it's not logical. It's not like the sun that's clear. It's like they're forced to develop their psychic abilities and make sense of this more irrational, subconscious part of themselves that's emerging. And there's a bit of depression here, because you're just walking down this lonely path, waiting to one day like make sense of it. And Earth, you just need to go deeper, and really embrace this internal journey, because at the core of it are your deepest treasures. And allow yourself to be swayed by irrationality, because the treasure of your own intuition will really come through. But I feel this deep sadness with Earth signs. It's just
I feel it too.
Very misunderstood.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what that is. I don't know if it has something to do with the South Node, because I did feel led to say Earth moons specifically, not to steal the sun signs away, but Earth moons. Ooh, and we both are Earth moons. I didn't realize that. I promise that wasn't biased. But you pulled the moon card, so Earth, look at your moon sign. You know, to figure out what's going on under the surface. Pay attention to your dreams, guys. You don't need proof to validate how you feel. Just
No,
feel it.
just feel it.
They're
Amen.
getting out of that energy quick, though. I do feel like they're getting out of it quick, though, Mike, because the Eight of Wands is like one of the fastest moving cards in the deck. So
It's at like the it's you're the best, because like it's literally at the final moment. Like they're almost finished with the lesson, but it's like at the darkest, you just need to continue to embrace those same dark feeling, because what they're gonna realize is those same negative emotions are the treasure. They're gonna transmute.
exactly. I was just gonna say that's when we want to rush the most, but that's when we should slow down the most. And
Yes.
in those moments of emotional enlightenment, you know, that's what they're going through. Earth signs are really, I think it might have been Cancer season, just a lot of emotions. Definitely. And I just got a message from a Cancer. As soon as I spoke the word Cancer, this person just so happens to be a Cancer. So it must have been Cancer season that was really hard on the very signs that represent reality. Like, that's hard. Because Cancer don't give a shit about what you think is real. They're ruled by the moon. They're already in your subconscious, changing shit up. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
interesting. So
So
now
next is,
we'll go into air, right?
yep.
All right. This is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius message for the intellectuals. The air energy. 3rd house, 11th house, 7th house.
Shout out to Astro Phoenix, who's just tuning in. Karen Cruz, thank you for joining us. Shout out to Philip.
Wow. All right. So the Ten of Swords almost came out with this message, so I want to keep that in mind, which is a good sign when you pull the Nine of Swords. When you see the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords shortly after, or in any relation, you're finishing a lot of that mental darkness, insomnia. So we have the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Mars and Leo.
Literally me. That is literally me. Like, you know,
yeah.
like even my bed is patterned like the Nine of Swords.
Is it really? Did you ever notice that there's all the constellations on that quilt?
Yeah, I noticed like last
I love
minute.
that. I don't
That
think
is
many people
literally
pay attention to that. So basically, Nine of Swords, Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands is standing up for yourself. It's Mars and Leo, right, Mike?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I feel like there's some kind of mental battle going on with the air signs. Period.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I didn't show you yet, but the bottom of my deck is similar to the energy you just felt, which is the moon. So the moon is here for the air signs as well.
Damn.
Okay. And the moon right now is in Cancer, guys. So that might be why this moon card, I know Pisces rules the moon card, but wow, we have the Hierophant behind the moon though. So Taurus moon, subconscious commitments, air signs. Also, there's something here that like about what you're hiding is actually giving you advice, because the Hierophant to me is always like some kind of advice giving energy. I know it's tradition and stuff like that, but there's something deep with the air signs right now. It's being deeply intellectualized, but that's creating, wow, okay, I know this is true for you, Mike, because like all the battles you've been fighting, like this is significant arguments, air signs. I don't know if you guys have been getting in significant arguments.
From all angles, telepathically, for real, shade, like hitting.
And I think you guys are losing sleep because of these battles. Like it's causing, they're not actually what I'm hearing for you guys, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, is that your thoughts aren't your thoughts right now. Like you're actually like, there's people who are thinking about you guys or thinking things about you guys, and you're picking up on their thoughts right now as air.
Real time.
It's very subconscious, whatever it is. We have the moon to confirm that. Whenever you get the moon and the Nine of Swords, hello, nightmares. Like you're fighting away people who are like nightmares to you, people, places, and things. Like you're fighting your own anxiety as well. Like I know there's been a significant increase in anxiety with these eclipses and with all the retrogrades. You're very anxious, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is. But I love to see that Spirit came in clutch for you guys and brought the 7 of Wands out, because it's like y'all ain't going down like that. You know, like you might have a little bit of anxiety, but you're gonna be anxiously standing there fighting. You guys can fight while being anxious is what I'm getting for you. You're hiding it anyways. Like a lot of people don't know you're anxious, air signs. It's really in your head. But remember, the 10 of Swords almost came out too. So this is about endings and completions and pain and stuff like that too. But the light at the end of the tunnel is coming. That's what I feel.
So good. Like that's really like my hope card. It's like, even despite that, I know the fighting is going to bring a victory. The standing up for, like, you just confirmed what, because it's so subconscious, and it's hearing people's thoughts real time, and like just kind of knowing what people are projecting telepathically, and then dealing with like so many people saying it at once. So you're just like dealing with it very, and sleep has been pretty difficult for me a lot because of my habits and going to sleep late. But I'm grateful. I know it's not forever, and it echoes these cards. I got the Hangman,
interesting,
the Hermit card,
wow,
and the Two of Swords. So there's a lot of like introspection, and like air signs, you're being called to sit it out. You're being called to like really be introspective and come into a new perspective through inaction. And the Two of Swords is saying a lot of air signs are keeping a lot into their heart. They're not revealing too much. There's a lot that we're doing in secret to work on ourselves and to really reflect, because a lot of air signs are having to reevaluate why we do what we do. Everyone really is, but like air signs especially, we're having to release and let go and sacrifice like an old way of really acting. I love how what's underneath the Hangman is the Strength card. So it's like, the goddess is supporting, but with the Two of Swords, it's like this whole process is secret. It's like they're keeping. I'd like to see the Two of Swords as the don't tell anybody card, even though it's the card of initiation and reversed release too. So I think what you pulled was spot on.
Well, I like to see that the air signs are almost more intuitive than what they want to be right now. Like, come on, like, I see a lot of air signs coming off the clutch, like really, really intuitive and speaking. That's what I love about air signs, is because you guys can definitely be psychic and you just speak on it more. And I appreciate that. There's nothing better than an air sign like that is intellectually, emotionally, I guess. But it is very secretive, and I like to respect that. When the Moon card comes up or the High Priestess, I know that the people you're reading for, they already know.
What do you feel about the Hangman?
The Hanged Man for air signs. I love that you touched on sacrifice, because honestly, believe it or not, that's one of the things that doesn't come up for me for the Hanged Man. I always, like, when I'm reading, I'll rewatch it. I'm like, why didn't I mention sacrifice there? So the Hanged Man is how I think that's a representation of, for one, Neptune retrograde. So we got Mars and Leo. I pulled the Mars and Leo card for air signs, and you pulled the Neptune retrograde card. So Mars and Leo, those are just two planets you want to look into, guys. But what I really want to say is that you guys have honestly, if you really think about it, air signs, your perspective has changed recently on stuff, hasn't it? Air signs, you guys are thinking differently right now. And that's what I feel is the Hanged Man is how enlightened you guys are becoming, because of the emotion that's being projected at you guys with the anxiety. But I don't even know how to say it, Mike. It'd be something you'd have to say, how you guys are handling that. Remember when you said non-action? That takes, yes, non-action in the Hanged Man. Like, you guys are chilling. Like, who could just, that's some Jesus shit. How you could just chill there and just get beat up like that and get projected at like that. And it's all a test, because water signs would fail at it. When a water sign feels something, they have to initiate, they have to express it, but air signs can reflect on it. You guys can intellectually process it. And that's why there's been an increase in your guys' thoughts, because there's been an increase in spirit. There's been an increase in enlightenment. And now that this is also, you guys can see everything differently. That's just what it is I think a change in perspective. That's what this is all in the name of.
Internal too, and getting your own wisdom and guidance and not relying on others through it.
Yes. I think that's why most people don't say what's on their mind, because they do run to others.
Yeah.
Let's go to water. Oh, goodness.
All right.
Water signs. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. What is the message for water signs? What do the water signs need to hear? Water sign energy. So we have a card coming out. We have a lot of fire for the water signs, which is interesting. 8 of Wands is what I had. And who else just got the 8 of Wands? I feel like Earth signs did.
Yeah. So Earth
that
signs.
explains that. Earth signs had it. And then the Page of Wands, you guys, is at the bottom of the deck. So this is my little Leo card. I always think Leo. So Leo season water signs is going to be the gas pedal for, well, whatever it's a metaphor for you for, but I think it's just going to make things go a lot quicker. I think there's going to be a significant increase in passionate communication, water signs. Movement for sure. We have 2 9s here again. 9 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. So even the water signs are feeling a bit anxious, especially when it comes to remaining grounded right now. Self-sufficiency. In water signs, there's a cycle that's over with a capital O. Okay, I pulled one of Mike's favorite cards here, and look, we have the 10 of Swords right underneath that. Talk about an ending to a painful cycle. Like there's something that's karmically over, and I'm telling you, the water signs are mishing right in with my earth sign reading. So, there's obviously something going on there. But all of that is so that you can go on like a new journey or something with this Page of Wands. There's some water signs that are going to start expressing themselves, which is not normal really for a water sign. I mean, straight up expressing yourself, like the emotions that you usually don't say anything about. Like you guys want to be careful if there's any fire that makes you guys snap with Mars and Leo, because that's true for me. I've been feeling really fiery lately.
Yeah. Oh, I feel you on that.
So that's what I have. Some kind of, this is straight up a passionate message, I would say. Like both of these are about passionate messaging. So wow, water.
I got the same water passion. The first thing I got was the 7 of Pentacles. So it's saying that you want to be patient. It's like before you go on a great adventure, you want to make sure you've packed everything that you need to pack, because the main cards I got for you is the Knight of Wands and the Strength card. It's like you're ready to go. You're ready to take your passions and go full throttle.
That's the same message. That right there is literally this. It's Leo with quickness. Leo with quickness.
And it's like you have energy. It's like it's like this person is running on gas, and the gas is never going to run out. It's like you're going, but the warning I'm hearing, and it's cool because what's under the 7 of Pentacles is the 4 of Wands and the Sun. So it's just saying plan properly, like go and have the wildest adventure, but make sure you've packed everything. Because once you're traveling, you're not going to be able to go back and get, what you need to assess. So it's like saying to go, but like to go methodically and be patient at the same time, which is so I see it more.
That's so true. And I love that advice, Mike, because I mean, I guess I'll just speak for me, but as a Pisces, when I finally feel passion, it ain't good. I ain't a fire sign, okay? So sometimes it can get the best of me. I'm not used to that. And I have the Knight of Cups here too. So I think water signs are like maybe feeling some feelings. Like some of us might be feeling love for the first time in a long time. Because what can get a water sign feeling more fiery than love? Yeah. So yeah, guys, I feel something there with water. Water is on fire, so we're steamed. Water has been evaporated. So we're feeling very evaporated, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We're like not in the physical realm, and we're not quite water anymore either. We're almost like, so you know what I think, Mike? I think water, you have to let me know if this is true, but I think air and water are about to team up, because evaporated water, you do? I feel like when water evaporates, we're put right up in the Libra, Gemini, Aquarius realm with air.
Well, so water, I think naturally, water and air are natural partners too, in the Kabbalic order and in the astral order. Water is next to air in both places, and
that's so true.
Yep.
Yeah, Libra, Scorpio, Pisces, Aquarius, Cancer, Gemini. Yes. And that's not talked about enough. Like people think air and water aren't compatible, but it works. It can work.
It's a very mystical compatibility. Like it's almost occult connections. Other than like water. Yeah, water and fire is occult, but it's more fundamental. But air and water shares a very
rare magic.
it's like electricity too, shocking water and like, you know.
Yeah, and there is oxygen. There's H2O. You know, H2O water literally needs air. So
True.
I think I'll see that. I think I'll see a lot of air and water teaming up because of that evaporated sense and because of how anxious the air signs are. It's just, I think that makes a lot of sense why water and air would have to team up. So you might see, you know, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer duos, like what we're doing now. Me and you talking Pisces, Gemini. Maybe this needed to happen. I'll keep an eye out. I'll look and see if that's something, because I need more air signs in my life, because you guys actually talk to me. Like, I actually need to have a conversation with people.
Word, actual conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
So in closing, first of all, thank you so much. This is one of the best peace talks we've had. And
no problem. It is my honor. I'm so thankful to you. Thank you so much for having me on here. It's a dream come true.
I'm totally gonna have you back.
I'll never forget it.
OJC. Shout out to OJC in the building. I'll see if we can get Chad in too. But
we have to do that. But you might need to team up with another Gemini. You can handle talking to two Pisces. You might need to at least get a Libra or something.
It's cool because it's like she's the Virgo moon, you're the Taurus moon, and I'm the Cat moon. So we'll have the Earth trifecta.
Okay, so what we would be missing? We would need what moon would we be missing if we had all three? So which one are we missing? Cat, Taurus. Oh no, we're not missing any. No, we're good up in here. That'd be wow. Wow.
And then so could you give us a prayer? Could you pray for us? Could you bless us with like a prayer of transcendence and liberation? I feel like if you prayed for us, it will awaken and transcend a lot of our power right now.
All right, I'm gonna light some stage for us all then. And thank you for even giving me the opportunity. So in my way of praying, I'm just gonna set some intent for us all, okay? Subconsciously and in our reality. And I know there's a lot of people out there listening. So regardless of what kind of day you're having, regardless of, you know, we're all in different spaces, we're all experiencing different variations of time and emotion. So this right here feels to me like an opportunity where we can feel, that's why I love you, Mike, because you really do give us an opportunity to feel this sensation of oneness. I love when you do your ritual. So I just want to set the intent that we're all cleared. And those of you guys who were a part of this peace talk, thanks for being here. And I think it was really, really magical whenever there's a Gemini and a Pisces together. So there's an automatic, there's a lot of communication from the subconscious that happens with Gemini and Pisces.
Yes.
Spirit has a voice whenever there's a Gemini and a Pisces that collaborate. So I hope that you guys have heard the voice of spirit today. And not only what me and Mike were saying, we weren't saying anything. We weren't saying anything at all. It was what was not being said. It was what was being said under the surface. All right. We've got Neptune and Mercury here. And when spirit joins, when Neptune joins with Mercury, reality and spirit can be existing as one. I don't know how long we've been talking, but whoever was a part of this, I just set the intention that you guys are abundant. And that I know a lot of you have actually really negative stuff around you. So I want to set the intent that that's in your highest good. And if it's not, it doesn't have a place in your life anymore. So that's the greatest intent that I could set for any of you guys, because as a Pisces, I know there's so much that goes unseen. And that's what I would like to call out right now and clear a way for you all with this sage, and just to set the intention. And something that I like to do is close my eyes and actually envision being one and being protected. You know, some of you guys out there may not think what's threatening you is real, something like that. And that's actually a ploy, okay? If you feel like there's a person, place, or thing around you that is negative, they absolutely are. That job, that girlfriend, that ex, that whatever it is, don't allow yourself to feel crazy. Just like everything I've been saying, it's absolutely nuts. I'm a Pisces, and just like Mike, what you were saying, how Pisces are, we're not able to be seen. So I just want to thank you guys and you, Mike, for allowing me to be the most realistic that I've been in 3 years. This is the most realistic thing that I've done in a really long time. And the most intention that I'll set for us will be after this live broadcast with the candle that is still lighting here. I work a lot with that energy, and I guess I just want you guys to take advantage of this new moon in Leo coming up. I'm a new moon intention setter. I do work with the new moon, so I feel a lot. I don't even know if it's anything I said, but I do feel like some people listening feel like it's okay to release something now, which is great because I do feel that too. And I do feel a lot of sadness, honestly, from us all. You know, not many of us are having a good day today. Like, so I want to thank you for that too, Mike, because this has been like the highlight of my day, week, month, like year practically. And so I guess what I want to say is that we all deserve happiness. We all deserve to be who we are and to feel the things that we feel without justification. We all have at least one person in our life who is being the opposite of us. And I just want to say to you guys that that's actually a good thing. It's good. Duality is good. It's not about the person in front of you or what they're saying. It's about what you're hearing them say. It's all subjective. Everything is subjective. And I guess I just want to wish you guys the best on that journey of actualization as you guys come into whatever that means for you, because no one can tell you. If there's anything I know as a Pisces is that no one can tell you anything that's real or fake. Like, that's completely up to you. Completely up to you.
It's true. Even if that person was right, even if someone says to you that there's a wall behind you and you don't believe it, even if they're right, if you don't believe it, then it could be factually there, but you're not going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, perceive that. You know what I'm saying? In this sense, your own subjective reality transcends an objective one. It doesn't make the objective facts go away, but with it's exactly what you're saying. Like, the principle holds true, especially in principles of uncertainty. So how can people reach you? I have your YouTube channel down below. Please subscribe to Pisces Priestess if you haven't already for some reason. And what services do you offer? And yeah, how can people get to know you?
Well, my Instagram, that's Pisces Priestess. My Facebook is my real name, which is Braylin Caldwell, which is what Mike has it here. If you guys need the spelling, it's kind of a weird name, but the services I offer, I love tarot. I do general guidance readings. Like, I'm not the best at, hey, when's my car gonna sell, or is my wife cheating on me? Like, when I have a reading, people are led to me for I don't do lighthearted readings. They're all deep. They're all things that you don't want to hear but need to hear. I do birth chart readings. I do dream interpretation. I do handwriting analysis. I do everything, and I'm just waiting on you guys to give me a foundation to even need these gifts. Like, I've got the gifts. I just want to use them, and I just, that's why I'm happy that I'm even in a position where people come to me for readings or come to me for, enlightenment or whatever, because I'm chilling until someone needs me. That's what I feel like, and I'm here if anyone needs guidance or anything like that. So, astrology, charts. I mean, I do it all.
And do you have any final word of advice for anyone walking this spiritual path?
Final words of advice. Well, one thing I want to do for us all, to complete that prayer, is for anyone who needs to feel this: you are logically protected by earth, you are passionately protected by fire, you're intellectually protected by air, and you are emotionally protected by water. That is the only thing that you'll need. Wow. I don't know why that is so powerful, but that's all you'll need for any boss character, any battle, anything from stomach ache to demonic possession. It'll help you. And my final advice is that there is no perfect spiritual path. There is no right or wrong. There's a reason Virgo is the 6th house of how you should live life, and why Pisces is the 12th house of how you should dream life. There is no perfect spiritual path. So you're not wrong. Don't let people say, oh, you're so spiritual, and you just said, bitch, you're so spiritual, and you're like being negative. Well, the thing is spirituality is a very misunderstood. People who are walking this path because they know they're dark. That's what spirituality is, because you know that you're light and you're dark. So my final advice is to just honor both, because that is what has helped me. I was the most unhappiest in my life up until I was 21 and realized that I was not light. I used to think I was all, and I know that's a topic for a different time, Mike, but that is my final advice, is just, there is no perfect spiritual path. Everyone is so unique. If you knew how unique you were, it would blow your mind. It would make you feel so unique that you'd feel like, am I even supposed to be here? Like, people are so different from one another, yet so similar. So it's not the differences that we should feed off of or acknowledge. It is the similarities that will reign at the end of the day. We're not that different from each other, yet we're so unique. Can you hear the magic there? Not that different, but it's completely unique. So with that very statement of that's kind of an oxymoron, it's kind of contradicting, and that's life. You know what I mean? I don't think there's good or bad. I don't think people out there that feel bad for doing something, it's all a part of your path. And just be kind. I'm going to be Ellen DeGeneres right now and tell you guys all to be kind to yourself. And I need to take that advice too. I understand why she says that now, because that's just what I want for all of us leaving this peace talk, is just maybe just say something nice about yourself before you go to sleep tonight, because I think we're made to feel too bad too often. That's the reason Pisces is so gullible, because we just want to believe that everyone is nice and good. And that can be bad. That can be a negative thing sometimes. I've learned the hard way that not everybody's nice and good, but we should all be given the opportunity to be that way to ourselves, at least. If you're not nice to others, please at least be nice to you, because if you're not nice to you or others, then you're just dark and mean. So just try to be nicer. Say one good positive thing about yourself tonight before bed. And also, anybody, I open up my Pisces energy. If anybody wants to have like a cool dream tonight or anything, if you want to do any dream work, then I'll keep this candle lit for you guys. All right, you guys. Most of you dreams tonight. Fun dreams tonight. Hopefully not any insane nightmares, but they will all be meaningful, you guys. Those of you who accept this Pisces thing that I'm doing right now, you have access to what I can give you for the dreams. I'll utilize my Pisces sun and Saturn, so there'll be some responsibility that you have to take. All right, like Spider-Man, with great responsibility, whatever comes with great power comes great responsibility. So be responsible with it, guys. But you have access to that.
That's the coolest way anyone has ever ended a peace talk. Like, wow.
I can't do shit for you guys. The truth is, I can't do shit for y'all out here. I got to go to sleep and do it for you tonight in my dreams.
All right. Shout out to Styles P. Sagittarius said I go home when I go to sleep in the dream realm. So thank you guys once again for tuning in. Such a great episode. You guys stay blessed as always. Braylin, you the GOAT. You the legend.
Bye. Thanks, you too.
Peace once again. Sweet.